Aaron McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Hi, guys. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
The wins keep piling up for this Arkansas basketball team. 9 straight conference wins. Most dating back to 1993-1994, the national championship season, when you concluded the regular season with 11 straight wins. Arkansas baseball, 7 straight wins for them. They get a 4-game sweep this weekend over SEMO. Want to discuss just how that's playing out. Arkansas could very well find themselves with the Ole Miss dropping their series to UCF Golden Knights over the weekend. Number 1 in D1 baseball and many other polls today. There was some stuff that came out with Hunter Yurchek and Asa Hutchinson potentially affecting Razorback events, maybe allowing more attendance in the coming weeks, in the coming months. We will discuss that as well. Also want to talk about if you had your druthers, if you had your choice to go anywhere, where would you want to go back or to for a friend's bachelor party, your bachelor party, bachelorette party, wherever the case may be. And it's also National Pig Day across the board, which I thought was kind of funny and kind of relevant considering how Arkansas has, I want to say the stat is now 22 straight men's basketball, women's basketball, and softball, I think, is in that mix as well.
Boy, we're stretching it there, aren't we? Consecutive wins? Yeah, adding those 3 up, yeah, I don't think that's a stat anyone else is keeping. If you're adding women's basketball, softball, and men's basketball, did you add baseball in there with 7?
Baseball too, I think. I gotta find this. I gotta find this stat, but I thought that was pretty funny.
We were looking for some self-affirmation here. We're wanting to feel good about ourselves, aren't we? So
let's see.
Would be 7, 9.
Yep.
That'd be 16. You'll have to tell me about the other 2.
22 straight wins. Yep.
Wasn't there a documentary named 22 Straight at one point? Yeah.
Talking about the A's?
Huh?
Talking about the A's?
No, I'm talking about the Razorbacks in the 64 into 65 where they won 22 straight football games coming off the national championship. So
did not know there was a documentary, but I guess there might be.
Larry Foley, your
old professor.
Yeah,
I guess I need to watch that.
Yeah.
Jeez. I apologize, Professor Foley. Apparently I haven't been paying attention in class.
No, it was a good weekend. That's a good number. I don't know that you'll probably find any other school in the country probably trying to do the arithmetic on those 4 for various sports. I guess you can handpick the ones. They didn't add soccer into there. Oh, wait, no, because soccer would have broke the streak. But what a fun weekend, though. I mean, to watch the Bats come to life against some pitching that's probably not going to be at the level of what you'll see in SEC play, obviously. But good to see them make loud contact, a lot of home runs in baseball. And I guess we start with basketball here on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, because what is happening with Eric Musselman's program is pretty incredible, considering you began the season middle of the pack pick in the league, and now you're a half a game away. You got to win or hope LSU loses from locking up second place in the SEC. It's pretty incredible what's happening here.
He is really found a way to continue the success, and I know we'll get into just kind of more opening up and feeling out the game, but for them to continue on this winning streak against, for example, 2 really good SEC teams this week, beating Alabama on Wednesday night, beating the LSU Tigers on Saturday afternoon, especially being down. They shot a terrible percentage in the first half, started out 0 for 8 from the field, and I think 0 for 4 from 3, and then they finally got things going in the second, really weathered the storm. It was quite impressive to see how this team just in this winning streak doesn't seem to be startled or affected by bad starts, by the inability to shoot in stretches. They just keep finding ways to win.
Well, I think a lot of while we focus on the offensive stats, and that's what fills up a stat sheet, I think this team has really turned the corner because of the way they played defense, particularly in this last week. I know there was a lot made of, the foul count and the disparity in free throws in both games this week. But credit Arkansas for being the team that didn't wilt defensively and start putting their hands on dribblers and putting their hands on shooters and getting away from fundamental defense and putting the other team at the line. I mean, I think it says a lot about probably a part of their game that's not getting enough credit in these big wins this week in a 2-0 week against their two best opponents in the last third or half of the schedule. Is how well they've played defense, Ty.
J.D. Notae had his best performance of the season. Javonte Smart couldn't bring the ball up to center court because of J.D.'s defensive presence, and he was just hounding him, and that's what you want to see when that defense, because you know what you're going to get out of Devontae Davis. Jalen Tate was in foul trouble the majority of the game. You know what you're going to get from Justin Smith. It's a lot harder for LSU to get things going with Trenton Wofford. He had a decent game, but it's a lot harder to score against Justin Smith than anyone that he was having to score against last time. But, the defense has really been picking it up lately, and you just like to see the tenacity on both ends of the floor that this team's playing with right now. And they're playing with a togetherness about themselves, and they're playing with just a joy, which is fun to watch. It really just echoes throughout the fan base, which I think you've seen in this 9-game winning streak.
I thought it was, this final score of 83-75 doesn't tell the story if you're just tree-topping or didn't see the game. The way this team played in the second half, being down 5 at the half, and then more or less, what was their biggest lead? It had to be 21 points. I mean, they were just crushing LSU in that second half. Won the second half 51-38, and that really doesn't tell the story about what it was because LSU – LSU closed the gap considerably in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the ball game compared to never really put the game in doubt. But I'm telling you, this thing was put away. That baby was put to bed 10-minute mark of the second half.
So they have not locked up the 2 seed yet in the SEC tournament. Now, the women will be playing the Ole Miss Rebels this Thursday. They have locked up the 6th seed. Ole Miss is the 11th seed. Arkansas right now has locked up a top 3 seed. They will either be the 3 seed or they will be the 2 seed. The 2 seed plays at 7 o'clock on next Friday night. And I want to say the 3 seed is 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 2, so probably set to start about 9:30. So you'd much rather be the 2 seed, not just because the ranking and the prestige about it, but also for the game time as well.
Yeah.
They won 9 straight SEC games. Again, this is the team's longest winning streak since they did that in the 94 season when they won their last 11 regular season games. This team has just been unbelievable, and the opponents that you have this week, now you're never going to hear this from us or anyone else within that program, but you kind of got it easy heading into the SEC tournament, and I don't even know if the A&M game is going to be played. Whoever decided that they should have senior day yesterday, that was a good move, because it would be a real bummer if you're waiting on senior day to be when the Aggies come to town and they don't show up.
No, that's exactly right. They held that right after the contest on Saturday. So, good point out of you to say, hey, we got that in and got our seniors honored. So essentially,
especially this team, you really want to honor for how they played.
So essentially, what you're talking about with this 2 seed, you got to win one of these last 2 to lock it up, or you need, I guess, Florida to lose one of their games this week, or LSU. Just go take care of business. Arkansas is at a point, and there's some of the bracketology with Lenardi and others that have you maybe as high as the last 4 seed on the bracket line. This is not a week where you can slip on the banana peel against these 2 teams, or probably rewards like the 4 seed will not be there for you. All right, it's a Hot Take Monday. What are your hot takes today? We'll have plenty of those coming up throughout the show. It's brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Hey, it's never been easier to own a new RV than right now at Wheels. They have a lifetime warranty on every new unit they sell, and they only sell the best. Grand Design, the new solar-powered Vibe, Alliance Fifth Wheels, KZ, Sportsman. You can read more about them online at wheelsrv.net. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Talk some Arkansas baseball coming up. They get a sweep over SEMO this weekend.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Headquartered here in Arkansas, designed in Switzerland, and field tested by customers all over the world. Canis.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-through testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Looking for the perfect solution to buying a pool this summer without breaking the bank? Hi, Tommy Kraft here for my good friends at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Enjoy family time in your own backyard this summer with a 15-foot semi-in-ground pool from Burton Pools and Spas, starting at just $99.97. Have the backyard you've always dreamed of. Spend time with family and vacation in your own backyard with Burton's. Semi-in-ground pools, again, start at $99.97. And you can count on Burton's. They've been around for more than 40 years, so you know they'll be there to help take care of you. 15-foot semi-in-ground pools start at just $99.97 at Burton Pools and Spas. Find them in Fort Smith at 6121 South 0 Street and in Springdale just off I-49 at the 412 exit. And see all their above-ground and in-ground pools online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late model, low mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And the pitch is hit high in the air, twisting into right center, hit very well, got a chance, and it's out of here. And Christian Franklin has homered for his 3rd consecutive game.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Arkansas baseball got 4 wins over the weekend against SEMO, clinching that series. 7 straight wins to start out the season for this Arkansas basketball team. We'll discuss that coming up.
Now brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. If you got your cable bill or your current satellite bill over the weekend and you're out of contract and it's went to $120, $30, $40 a month, how about $80 a month or less? That's 3 TVs in your house, movie channels free for the first 90 days with World of Wireless from DISH. Get the Hopper 3 system that gives you whole home DVR and HD in every room. You connect it to your internet. You can download over 80,000 show and movie titles that are available. Plus, they're going to give you a $100 Visa gift card for signing up with your local DISH dealer. 877-305-DISH. Stop and think about it. $120 or $30 or $40 a month. Do the math. Now you're down to $80. You're going to save $40 to $60 a month with World of Wireless. And by the way, that's a 2-year price guarantee. So no price increases for 2 years. 877-305-DISH for a wow, World of Wireless.
Do you remember the year that Arkansas was at one point #1 with their baseball team? Because I'm not a baseball historian.
I would have to. I'm not. 17 or 8. There was a year they were preseason #1. Came out and went flat. That may have been going back to 16 actually. After their College World Series run. There was one year they were #1 and then they came out and did not play well. So, they've been #1 before, even were preseason #1 in several of the polls.
Is that something that Arkansas fans should take a lot of weight in, that their baseball team is #1 this early in the season with how baseball seems to kind of go back and forth? If you haven't heard, Ole Miss lost their series at home in Oxford to the UCF Golden Knights over the weekend.
Well, baseball is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
So does it feel good to say you have one of the best programs in the country? Absolutely. We already knew that, though. Whether you're #2 or you're #1, at this point in the season, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to be a unanimous #1. There's going to be other polls that have you ranked somewhere else. But what you do know is you have a top 5 baseball team in the country, but you have to play many of those other teams that are in the top 10 week in, week out, and Arkansas is going to get their nose bloodied going through the SEC. They're going to bloody some noses too.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the nature of this league, and particularly the Western.
I like how you put that.
That's the way it's going to be this year.
That's a good way to put it.
They're going to have to trade punches. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. So enjoy being #1. I'm here to tell you it's not going to last, and you may be #1 again later on. The only thing that really matters is that tournament at the end and putting yourself in a position to host in the Super Regionals. But it's great for fans, and it's great for recruiting and a lot of other reasons to be #1 at some point. I'm just telling you, the wind blows strongest at the mountaintop, and it'll be hard to retain, but enjoy it while it lasts. And, hey, I think you got a baseball team that clearly can find their way to Omaha. And then at that point, as we've seen before, it's about pitching, which Arkansas has, timely hitting, all the things, whether you're a 1 or an 8 or a whatever, get yourself to the College World Series, and you got miles to go before you can even think about that.
Austin and Ozark said it was in 2009 and 2013 when they were #1. And I appreciate that because I was not going to be able to guess it.
But I think there's also been a more recent year than that where they were preseason #1 as well, and it didn't pan out. What you want to be is #1 when it's all over with. That's it.
End of the day.
Listen, that's cliche, and everybody knows that. But we're all worried this week about, or I've just seen a lot of chatter on Twitter about baseball ranking and then how far are you going to move up. How far are you going to move up in basketball? Everybody's worried about that ranking right now. It's late in the year. It's time to have a good ranking. Ranking doesn't matter as much as seeding in my mind. But, again, it's good for recruiting. It's good for notoriety. There's a lot of positives that go along with having that better number by your name.
You mentioned the basketball rankings. Arkansas was 20 in the AP poll this last week. A lot of top 10, top 20 teams lost. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 teams lost ahead of you. Some lost twice this week. And so I wonder with that shakeup with Arkansas getting 2 quadrant 1 wins, especially against the best team in the Southeastern Conference, how much they actually will be elevated. If I had to guess, they're going to wind up at about 12 or 11 today.
I'm going to say 16.
You don't think it's going to be that far?
Well, I mean, not all those teams are going to drop. I mean, drop below you. I mean, Alabama, yes, you beat Alabama. Maybe you should be ahead of Bama, but Bama's not dropping from 6 to out of the top 15 on that loss. So some of these teams, while they did lose, they were higher ranked. And then, so you want to look at the teams that were between about 12 and 20 and how they did. I think Arkansas will move up 3 or 4 spots.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 all lost at least one game this week. So that's why I would anticipate that you're going to wind up in about the 12 or 11 spot because you were able to win.
Hope you're right and I'm wrong. I just Arkansas has not been a familiar name to a lot of these pollsters. And I'd love to see Arkansas inside the top 15. I just don't trust that there's going to be enough votes. I think in 15 or 16, it'd be great to say you're a top 15 program heading into the final week. I'd honestly rather be about where I want it to be. Don't read your press clippings. Don't slip on the banana peel this week, man. This is not a week you can afford either one of these teams, if you play the A&M game, to be a loss. South Carolina and A&M, not ranked teams, not high in the net rankings. You need to take care. You need a 2-0 week again. You got to end this SEC winning streak at 11 games.
Everyone's favorite bracketologist is the one that has you the highest. Well, right now,
same thing with baseball polls too, right?
Jerry Palm has you as a 3 seed. Joe Lenardi has you as a 4 seed. He's got you in the 15 of his top 16 teams. That's where Lenardi has you. We're going to try and get Joe on sometime this week to join the morning rush because it's getting that time with only 2 games remaining. I say 2. I still am not sure that Texas A&M comes to play on Saturday based on what's going on down there in College Station. That seeding and rankings and everything that is entangled within the NCAA selection committee is very important for Arkansas because we know in years past where it looks like they had talented teams, they just had bad matchups. You want to avoid, in my opinion, the 5 seed because 12 seeds are always really talented.
Good point.
You want to avoid the 8 or 9, which I think those are too far.
You're past that unless you went 0 for 2 this week.
Yeah, I think they're past almost a 7 at this point. So if you get a 6 or if you could get a 4, 5, or 3, that'd be pretty. And I don't know, in order for Palm's prediction to come true, what they would have to do in the remaining games. I don't know if they'd have to win out. I don't know if they'd have to get
win
to
the next 5
SEC championship game. I don't know where that stands in his opinion, but I do know this team's won 9 straight SEC games, and there's a lot to be happy about right now if you're an Arkansas basketball fan.
Matt Zimmerman pointed this out on Twitter, an undefeated February. Didn't lose in the month of February. And that hasn't happened since the 94 team. So pretty heady stuff, some of the things they are accomplishing this year. Doesn't mean they're going to go as far or make a Final Four, but hey, I think we all believe Sweet 16's within sight.
877-377-6963, the number to call or text in. Quick hitty headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer, and with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle. Owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
How'd you like to mow my lawn?
You
betcha. If you want your lawn professionally maintained, the Grounds Guys is your one-stop shop. The Grounds Guys will mow, trim, edge, blow away all the debris off your sidewalks and driveway, and keep your lawn the envy of the neighborhood all year long. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or go to groundsguys.com for all your lawn care needs in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
The heater broke down, I had to act fast. Wiggled some wires, I broke the thermostat. My wife got cold, her nose started to freeze. She said, hey man, gotta call AshleyAir.com. When your heater breaks down, they're the one you want. AshleyAir.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Technician showed up the very same day. Got it fixed right and fast, he was on his way. Next time your heater breaks, you know who to call. There's only one choice, AshleyAir.com.
Come try out the new Cooper Radex Woods and Irons or the tailor-made Sim 2 Woods and Irons at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Spend some time on the putting green and try out a great selection of Scotty Cameron putters. In stock now, tailor-made TP5s or the Callaway Super Soft golf balls. Need a push cart? Choose from Sun Mountain, Rovic, or Click Gear. As always, don't forget to check Facebook for daily specials. The best place for all your golfing needs. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Off the inbound, it's stolen by Devo. 2-on-1 ahead to Note. JD with a left hand lays it in and one.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. We got some quick headlines that we were going to get to coming up. Also, your calls and texts at 877-377-6963 on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV.
That's right. They got winter storage specials. So if you're looking for a place to keep your RV this winter, they've got it for $50 a month. No contract. It's month-to-month availability. Plus, they'll give you discounts on parts and service plans. Storage customers can also take advantage of winterizations, cleanings, inspections, and more when you store on site at Wheels RV. Find out more at wheelsrv.net or stop in and see Lee J, Chris, and the gang at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Let's welcome in Danny in Russellville this morning. Danny, got some good things to say about these Arkansas Razorbacks on a Monday.
It's good to be a Razorback. The basketball team appears they're going to be a top 4 seed at least. The women's team appears to be a top 4 seed. The baseball team, obviously loaded. They're going to be number 1. The Arkansas track women and men both won Southeast Conference championships this weekend, and they're a good bet. The women are going to win the national championship in a couple weeks. Then you got outdoor track, and you got softball in the top 25. It's going to be a good spring. It's time for football to step up.
You were reading my mind. It's time for a good fall.
Come on. Things are going good.
Yeah, we got a good spring. We need a good fall.
Yeah, it's time for football to step up. We got the basketball program back on track. Baseball is just clearly, they're just loaded. We're good in a lot of areas, and the facilities are great. There's not a better track and field facilities in the country. The men are finally back in track and field. It took a while. So things are going good for the Hogs, and I expect the Razorbacks to make a step up this fall, guys, and you have a good day.
Danny, appreciate your call. Yeah, there's a lot of great things going on right now. The combination of men's basketball, women's basketball, softball, and baseball combined for 22 straight wins right now, and so that's just that's a statistics that's kind of jumbled together, but just shows where your spring sports are right now. There's a lot of ranked teams within spring sports.
How does that compare to the other teams in the league? I'll hang up and listen.
I have no idea. You're finding a hoot out of that stat this morning.
Well, listen, it's you can find – who else combines those numbers, though, Ty? I've never seen anyone do that in my life. We're going to combine women's softball, women's basketball, baseball, and men's basketball together to find a winning streak. I've just never seen anyone do that. So
it's because typically they're not all playing well at the same time.
Well, that's
There's
a good
no point
point
of doing that for Arkansas because the teams don't seem to match up. It's like we always talk about the men's basketball and the men's football team. There never seems to be consistency. Either the basketball team's good or the football team's good. Rare as it ever where you find a year or stretch where both the football team and the basketball team are really, really good combined. So it's hard to seek it out.
It's been a long time. I'm not sure that you've had success. Just forget about all these other things. Just the basketball programs, the men's and the women's program. You were a young child the last time probably these two were good at the same time. Probably Gary Blair was head coach. We had this level of success.
Was that Final Four, 98?
Yeah, 98 or 9. Yeah, right in there for the women. And, Arkansas basketball had already kind of peaked and come over the top of the mountain, but they were still a good program at that point, a ranked program at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a while since both were this nationally competitive. If we just want to look at men's and women's in comparison.
Back to the phone lines, welcoming in Rod on I-40. He wants to know if Texas A&M will show up this weekend. Rod, I've been asking the same question since that game was announced last week by the SEC office.
Yeah, I'd like to officially nominate them the official University of COVID in Texas. I think they've probably got more cases, and Carter's got little pills. I hope they show up. I'd like for them to show up. That's one salty basketball team we got right now. They're getting a little bit nasty sometimes. I like that. I like that a lot. The baseball team, I'm not ready to completely buy into yet. Rankins is great, but you know how that works. But, I don't know what Eric's got, but he needs to bottle it and give it to the football team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got a question that I want to ask. Guys, could you take away some positives if Arkansas doesn't play A&M this weekend? Because if you beat South Carolina on Tuesday night or tomorrow night, you lock up the 2 seed,
right?
Regardless, what are you going to gain by playing the Aggies? Because just the consistency of playing.
That would be it for me, is because you're already going to be off to the following Friday. You've earned that.
Correct.
So do you want to be off of, what would it be, from Wednesday be 10 days or so. I think I would rather play.
You would rather play?
And you've come around to my way of thinking. There's not much to gain from playing this. I agree. Play somebody. I don't know, and I don't know that you're adding an opponent at this point in the year. That's not really feasible. So I'm not suggesting that you go play A-State now.
And they play. You brought up last week several times. They play Mississippi State. I'm referring to the Aggies. Right. They play them on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm. So I just think just from the rhythm, and we talk about the rhythm of your schedule, and you go through a routine. Well, your routine's already going to be off kilter anyway because you're not going to play in Nashville till Friday. So I don't know that I don't think anyone wants to go 10 days or whatever that would 10 or 11 days without a game.
Okay.
So.
It's exciting. It is really exciting right now.
I mean, this is as much buzz and positive vibes we've had around the basketball program in a long, long time.
And it is the first day of March. So we are that much closer to March Madness, which I know so many of you are looking forward to. So the Hogs win.
Oh, I just love that music.
Yeah, it's great music. I can't decide. I always go back and forth between this and the SEC on CBS theme song, which I don't know if ESPN's going to buy that, considering they're taking over the rights in 2024 or 20. Is that right?
You
don't know?
I don't know.
Okay,
don't know.
I think that's right.
I think 24 is right. I'm going through the Rolodex here from about 2 weeks ago.
So we're inching closer and closer. Tommy mentioned next Friday is when they'll take on Missouri. Selection Sunday is 13 days away. It'll be that Sunday, the same Sunday the SEC championship and so many championships go on in college basketball. Now, the Arkansas women, they won against Alabama 94-76 last night. They're a 6th seed. They'll take on Ole Miss in the SEC tournament this Thursday at 7:30.
Yeah, and I think more people are tuned in to what's going on with the women than have been in a long time. I wonder this year, we know at the UConn game having 4,400 there, what would some of these other games have looked like had there been the ability to have bigger crowds and people are just more comfortable? And I know that, you could have had 4,400 at every game for the women, but I just think there's a lot of buzz since they have had success in this SEC tournament. I think this is a tournament, while the men don't need to go and make noise and necessarily get to Sunday, I think for the women, they could do themselves a lot of favors by having a good deep run in the SEC women's tournament.
And they can hopefully have that success. We saw them get to, was it the championship last year or the semis? Yeah, I thought it was the championship.
Refresh my memory. Did they beat A&M in the semis to get to the finals, and then they got beat by South Carolina?
It's a great basketball game. So excited about what Mike Neighbors' team is doing now.
Because I remember everyone scrambling to find, where's this on TV? What time is it? Are you going to have it on the radio? On and on and on about, all of a sudden there was like overnight attention and overnight spotlight. I guess that was a better way. That's a better way of making my point a moment ago. Is I think the spotlight has been there and the attention and interest has been on the women's program. But what is it, 9-7? I think they ended their SEC run this year. If I remember reading that press release right this morning, they probably need a couple more wins to really secure where they want to be on the bracket.
Yeah. So that's the women's side of the scene is signed, sealed, and delivered. The men's is still a couple things are yet to be determined, including where Arkansas is going to end up. Now, Alabama clinched the number 1 seed in the SEC this weekend. Nate Oates is going to be your coach of the year. Well-deserved. He's been great so far. And I like Nate. And I don't typically like Alabama people, but I like Nate Oates. He's got a good story. You heard Clay Henry rehash last week. He was on the high school circuit, got hired by Bobby Hurley, and has now made his way to the University of Alabama. So there's kind of there's a dynamic there that I actually enjoy. And he comes across, whether it was at Buffalo where they had 3 NCAA appearances. I know they won a conference championship regular season and then postseason a couple times. I got to go back and look, but he's a good basketball coach.
Oh, absolutely. And I've seen a few tweets and some just conjecture over the weekend about Eric Musselman should be coach of the year. I think that's a good take to have, but I'm with you. Nate Oates is going to win this. Alabama never wins anything in basketball. Yeah. So I don't see how Nate Oates is probably not a unanimous choice, even though Eric Musselman has really done a heck of a job this year for Arkansas.
You're going to have the runner-up for SEC Coach of the Year in Eric Musselman, who they were picked against 6th seed by the 6 by the SEC media. They're going to finish second most likely, and then you're going to have the runner-up for likely SEC Freshman of the Year in Moses Moody. Cam Thomas, who you saw have a good display on Saturday, he's going to likely be your Freshman of the Year.
Is that one a little closer, though? The Freshman of the Year versus the Coach of the Year?
That one, but while Mo's point totals have been still up there, he hasn't shot the ball well these last couple games.
No, but I was reading a statistical comparison last night between him and Cameron, and he's been more efficient. He's been more efficient in the minutes he's played.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you, though. I mean, we've gotten conditioned as Razorback fans to getting slighted on these type of things.
I don't feel slighted on either of those because Nate Oates is, I think, clear and deserving. Even though, again, Muss has done a fantastic job, just beat Oates on Wednesday night. But I think when you boils down to it, I think what you mentioned, though, it is a little closer with the SEC Freshman of the Year. But we'll have to wait and see.
A little more discussion there.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page with those.
Now, Arkansas, again, we said it's kind of up in the air with the seed. They clinched a top 3 seed, so they'll either be the 2 seed or 3 seed. Bama locked up the number 1. That includes a double bye. Now, here's how this is going to work. The only way Arkansas doesn't get the 2 seed if they lose to both South Carolina and Texas A&M, and then Florida has to beat both Missouri and Tennessee this week.
So your magic number, I guess, it's a half a game right now. So you got to win 1, can't lose 2, need Florida to lose 1, something of that nature to lock it up. So right now you're a game and a half ahead with 2 games to go, essentially. You got to look at the loss column and the percentages this year. The win column, yes, it matters, of course, but the loss column and the percentages matter more in how they're picking or placing the seeds this year.
JB and Benville text in, Arkansas is 12 in the power rankings. Speaking of rankings and seedings, JB, we mentioned this a little bit earlier. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, has you as a 3 seed. And then in Joe Lenardi's latest bracketology, he has you as a top 15 team in the NCAA tournament, a 4 seed. And he keeps bringing you up. Joe Lenardi has loved them Hogs as of late. Every time someone asks him on social media, he keeps hedging them like a slot above where he had them the previous time.
Yeah, and with Arkansas's schedule, basically their only non-conference loss was to Oklahoma State. They've avenged every SEC loss except Tennessee, and I don't know if it's going to work out for them to see Tennessee in the tournament. The last one I looked at, if it started now, I think Tennessee was on the top half. They'd had to go through Alabama, but I think that's a strong case to the committee for maybe a line higher than you were thinking. Maybe 4 instead of 5. Maybe, I don't know if 3 is possible. I mean, if some other teams fell by the wayside, didn't perform well in the last week, didn't do good in the conference tournament, I think maybe there is an outside lane where you could get in there.
Another headline I want to dive into, what did you think about what Governor Asa Hutchinson and then Hunter Yurachek, the remarks kind of that made their way all over the place on Friday?
Well, and if you're trying to figure out what's going on with this story, the governor took a lot of the guidance on attendance levels and occupancy levels for venues and made it guidance rather than directives. So instead of there being a fine potentially in place for not following the rules, there are directives that they think you should continue to follow. I went out to eat Friday night. The restaurants weren't ready for the demand that showed up. Longer waits, not enough staff, and I think that applies to what Hunter Yurachek and the university's got to get in place. Yes, the governor can come in and kind of lift some of the restrictions and make it guidance, but you're not ready all of a sudden to just open up your venues because you've got to make sure the ticketing is right. Do I have enough ushers? Do I have enough people in the parking lots to deal with the cars that are going to be coming in? Concession workers, on and on. You've cut all that back because you've only had 4,400 or whatever for 4,000 for basketball games, 4,400 for baseball games. I think you have to phase in some expansion if you're Hunter Yurachek, and they're probably already having those meetings about how do you operationally get this in place. Absolutely, they want to have more people there. I'll be surprised if they make much of an adjustment this week for the final basketball game.
If you had to make an educated guess where we could potentially see Baum-Walker Stadium have more Razorback fan attendees, when would you say? The next
week?
Month?
No, I think maybe sooner than that.
Okay.
I think they phase it in. Maybe you go from 4,400 to 7,000, 6,500, some number in the middle.
Okay.
But I don't think we'll get to a point where, unless the directives from the top, unless the governor and above that change their guidance, I still don't think you're at 100% anytime soon. So while these restrictions are there, I don't think you're going – and I don't think the Baum Walker would be full if they let it go 100% tomorrow. I just don't know that the general public's ready to sit side by side with someone that's not in their household or someone they're not familiar with. So I think you'll get to a half full, 2/3 full, 3/4 full. That to me, knowing nothing other than just gut feeling, I think those are the conversations, and maybe they stair-step that up to see how it goes.
Coming up in the program, we got one more headline I want to get into, but I want to ask the question this morning. I had a buddy who got engaged over the weekend, and we've already started planning where we potentially want to take him on his bachelor party. So for the bachelor party destinations, for the bachelorette party destinations, for the activities, what should we do? Where should we go? Where did you go on yours? 877-377-6963. Last headline, did you see a bunch of golfers paying? I
did.
I mean, is it homage or homage? It's homage, right? Homage. Is that how you say it?
That's what
paying homage to Tiger Woods over the weekend, wearing the red Nike and wearing the black pants.
Hey, these guys understand that these $10, $11, $12 million purses, and it's just another week on the tour because that's what they played for this week was $10.5 million. Tiger's the one that made all of this possible for them. No crowds out there, all about sponsorships, all about endorsements, that's how they make their living is because this guy made it happen. So every one of them were more than glad to pay respect to the greatest that's ever been around in our lifetime as far as, I know Jack's still around, but you know what I mean, on tour. Tiger has made all of this money that they all enjoy possible. So I think they were all very happy to show their respect as Tiger's healing up. And I saw a nice tweet from him that how touching it was. Tiger doesn't usually give a lot of emotional stuff back, but on Twitter or publicly. So I saw him respond to all that and how touching it was to him. So
yeah, it's really cool to see that just this group of men, like that's a lot of them are friends. A lot of them, Tigers was their idol, still is their idol. So when you have that type of camaraderie, when something happens to one of your brothers, it's cool to see them respond like that.
Yep, and you just hope you get to see a day where Tiger's out there again. I know let's worry about walking before we golf, but it just tells you what he means to the sport. He is the sport.
Mm-hmm.
He is more that sport than Jordan ever was basketball.
I got to ponder that for a second.
Nobody watches, and I say nobody, only the hardcore golf fan watches golf when Tiger's not out there. How much golf have you ever watched when Tiger's not there? Tiger's not in the mix.
Very, very little.
Very little. But if Tiger's in the hunt on a Sunday at Augusta or any other tournament, well, all of a sudden we're now interested as a general public. So basketball was never that way. You'd still watch whether Jordan was there or not there, for the most part. So he means more to that sport than probably anyone's ever meant to their sport. All right, we're going to talk bachelor parties coming up. We're brought to you by the Fence Man. Hey, if you own a business that needs more security, maybe more curb appeal, a new fence from the Fence Man can give you both. They've been around for more than 40 years. They do all kinds of fencing, gates, automatic gates, powered gates, razor wire to keep people like Ty out of your backyard. They can do all of it, and they have 18-month same-as-cash financing available. 782-3936. That's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We'll talk some Arkansas basketball coming up here at the top of the hour, but I did have a buddy that got engaged over the weekend. Now, it went according to plan, Tommy. He did actually get engaged. I know you were making the joke the last couple of weeks.
Well, I hope he bought barbecue, he bought drinks, he had all this thing orchestrated, which I guess that's a new generation thing. I don't know. It was a one-on-one private deal night out. I don't, but that's the way it is. We got to turn these into events anymore.
So he made the joke to his fiance that, all right, I planned out the engagement. You take care of the wedding. We're planning out our bachelor party, which for all the husbands out there listening to the program, you know that you have to have some say in the wedding. Your wife wants you, your fiance wants you to have say though, even though you don't care. I've never met a man. I say that. Our friend Tim McGuire, Big Tim's son, was the only. I know some are referred to sometimes as bridezilla. Well, he was the groomzilla.
He wanted his hands in everything.
He had to put his hands in stuff. That's the only guy that I know that was like heavily. Outside of that, most guys are just like,
what time and where?
What do you want? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because once you get to this point, you're off the hook for a lot of things. You got to take care of a rehearsal party and the rehearsal dinner, and then leave it all up to everyone else on that. So
here's the ideas that have been tossed around. This is from the future groom. The wedding's potentially going to be in April next year. March Madness in Vegas the month before, which you probably wouldn't need a month to recover.
Just chaperone on that. That's
to
one of my
tag along.
That's what. Yeah, just tag along. I won't be in the way. I just want to go to Vegas for that first weekend of the NCAA. That is on my bucket list of things to do. Is Vegas for that weekend and just sit in the sports book at the Bellagio somewhere and just have someone bring me drinks and watch games.
Hunter from Cave City texted in. He says, Gaston's. I will say my dad and stepmom had a great time at Gaston's this weekend. Remember when we were doing the show outside because we couldn't find the internet source because we
plugged into the wrong wrong place.
Wrong cord. And so we had to do the show outside. And those peacocks and flamingos were just like circling around.
Yep.
There was one that was chasing my dad that my stepmom sent me, which was quite funny.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to be in March. Gaston's is an awesome place any time of the year. But think about it right now. Think if you were doing this in 2 weeks, what have we just come through in the last month or so? What have we had a lot of? Cold weather. Winter weather. You're ready for a break from that, right? Now, Vegas is a little bit of a break, but it can be cool in the evenings. You might want to take a jacket or a sweater or pull over along with you. How about go south? How about Mexico, baby?
That's a good
Cancun. Get up there in that hotel zone. Lots of clubs. Cancun. Just for a warm break.
Yeah. Beach trip, lake trip. We're up there. I don't
know what the budget is. I'm maybe blowing the budget.
I think the budget is whatever.
You got a year to save up.
The bachelor, the group of groomsmen and the friends will have to just throw together because the groom doesn't pay for anything.
Nope.
It's all expense paid.
Well, I mean, Mexico's doable. It's not cheap, but it's not. I mean, you can go to Mexico cheaper than you can do Vegas. I promise you.
You tell me if these are good ideas. Some of I listed out. You've said some of the ones that I said. I've never been whitewater rafting. Would that be a good?
Yes, but not in March.
Okay.
Cold. I mean, if you're going to Colorado, that's generally where you go. It's like Colorado and raft the Arkansas down.
Camping in the mountains where it's a little.
Again, your timing of the year, good idea. I don't know that March in the mountains is probably the best of times.
Okay. Let's see. Charleston, South Carolina.
I have not been there, and it is on my list of
places.
My parents
have. They said
I
it's
hear
awesome.
It is awesome. Charleston and Savannah, Georgia are two places I want to go.
I'd like to go to Charleston at some point. Now, what about our friends in Branson, Missouri? Is that a bachelor party?
No, I mean, I love Branson. SmackDown was there this weekend. Nothing wrong with Branson. Now, if you want to get one of these nice, swanky houses or something out on Table Rock, you want to go to Big Cedar, you want to do, but you guys want to go to the clubs. You want to go out and do things. Well, Branson doesn't have a selection of nightlife that I think you're looking for.
Will from Benville agrees with these. Says Cozumel, Mexico. That would be a destination.
Cozumel, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chicago. Not freezing.
March. Well, in March, you just don't know. It's a roll of the dice in March on what kind of weather you're going to get.
You got to play in some golf.
Think south. You need to think south. New Orleans,
someplace with
casinos.
New
Orleans and Vegas are cliche, but two good spots for a reason.
It's kind of like the phrase "play the hits."
Yeah.
Sometimes, even if it's cliche, you go to the touristy spots.
San Antonio.
It's not a bad idea. I got a buddy that just actually moved down there doing some barbecue stuff.
Never been there, but that's another place I got to know.
Went to the 2007 Sweet 16 Elite 8 game down there. Grego and Mike Conley Jr.
Maybe you could time it up and there'd be a regional somewhere. You go to where a regional's at.
Too. More of the Morning Rush, Hour 2 on the way.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, Figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
That's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control,
and comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 3/1/21.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
In the mood for a top shelf night, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of their delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. However, there is a chance of a few rogue showers across the south. Our high today in the low to mid-50s. We have a slight chance of seeing a little rain across the south again tonight. Better chance through the overnight. We drop down low 30s north, upper 30s south, and then a chance of rain continuing Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Put down the bug spray and pick up the phone before you head outside this summer. Call Mosquito Joe to keep your yard mosquito-free. Call 479-202-9960 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Moody in the backcourt across the timeline. Smith's going to get a windmill slam on the other end. Nobody got back for LSU, 83-73 with 12 seconds to go.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It is hour number 2 of The Morning Rush. We are stacked up with phone calls, and we will get to those coming up in just a sec, as it is a Hot Take Monday. Tom Murphy coming up in about 20 minutes. It's brought to you by Wheels RV this morning.
Get your hot takes in here. Wheels RV is 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. They got lifetime warranties on every new RV they sell at Wheels, and you'll not find that anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. All the top brands, on-site storage, they make it easier than ever, and they have RV show pricing right now. It's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
First up this morning goes to Ryan in Hot Springs, hour number 2. Ryan, you wanted to recap Hog Sports over the weekend, brother. Go ahead.
Well, as awesome as that was for that LSU win, I gotta say I think the student section won the day, where the FBI jacket and chanting "Will Wade sucks." So that was pretty awesome. That made I had to work this weekend, so I kept up with it on Twitter. But that definitely made my day. And Devo's face when Smith made that windmill slam was pretty awesome too. Do y'all like our chances if we get the highest seed? Did y'all say it was a 2 seed possibly? Make the Elite Eight if we get a 2 seed?
One projection has you at a 3 seed.
The 2 seed we're referring to, Ryan, was the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
If you win either one of the games against A&M or South Carolina, then you're going to get the 2 seed. Or if Florida falls this week, they would have to lose. They would have to win.
Kind of like in baseball, their magic number is a half a game on the or they're a game and a half ahead, so they need a half a game. So either a win or a Florida loss, and you're in.
Palm's got you as a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. He's CBS Sports, and Joe Lenardi has you a 4 with ESPN. He's got you as the number 15 team in the NCAA seedings right now.
So does that so if we say we get the 3 seed, say it all works out, do you like our chances to the Elite Eight then?
I mean, 3 seed's a good seed. I mean, anytime you can have a top 3 seed, would be great. It's all about matchups. That's what the NCAA tournament's all about. And, Ryan, we appreciate your call this morning. Got a couple that we got to get to. That's what it comes down to. We always joke because, North Carolina, you don't have to worry about them, assuming they don't win the ACC tournament. That's been the issue for Arkansas these past couple of years. If you've not just a couple of years, but you've got bad matchups. And the higher seed you get, the better matchups it's going to be because you're playing a lesser opponent.
Supposed
it's
to
just
be
how
a
it
reward.
is.
Yeah,
It's how it is.
So you need that, or if you a little bit lower, you need an upset on the other side of your bracket. So, again, like you said, and I think Arkansas is a matchup problem. I think there's a lot of teams that right now don't want to play Arkansas. And Arkansas has become less and less of a team depending on the 3, and they go to the rim, they get contact, they go to the free throw line, and they're not living or dying by the 3. Well, one off day for a 3-point shooting team, and your season's over.
Mm-hmm.
So Arkansas has become less of that kind of team the last week or two for sure.
Next call goes to JW in London, Arkansas. We were talking bachelorette weekends. JW, where's the destination that we should take my buddy?
Well, hey, before I give you the destination, let me make a comment on the Hog B-ball team.
Go ahead.
They win 2 more games, and they will be considered the most dangerous team in the Big Dance. Nobody will want to play them, and that is a good place to be. As far as for my destination, I would recommend Colorado. Now, well, first, I would recommend that you have the wedding unless there's an heir or an heiress involved in this in June or July. But since it's in March, Colorado has real possibilities. And it's like Arkansas. You got to be a little bit flexible. You can either do Denver. They've got a great walking mall. It's got all kinds of action and lots of pretty Colorado girls and all kinds of stuff. Or you could do Breckenridge, which has a really compact ski area. And a lot of people go up there. They never even go skiing. They just hang out in the lodge. Because, you can have fires. And you guys can have your own condo there at a reasonable price. Have a great time. Either place.
Tommy's shaking his head about
There's
reasonable
no reasonable price.
in
JW, thanks for no reasonable prices in Breckenridge in March.
We did that my junior year, and JW is a lot of fun. And I want to learn. I think it's because torn my ACL. I'd like to learn how to snowboard, and I think because I can wakeboard, I think I'd be able to pick it up okay. Not as good at skiing, but I would definitely try snowboarding if we ended up skiing for that.
Yeah. Our next guy, he's going to be fired up about what happened this weekend.
That he is. Big Hog win as we welcome in Mr. Eddie in Clarksville. It's been a while, Eddie. What you got for us? We got about a minute and a half, buddy.
You bet, son. I'm going to let it rip. What a weekend for a Razorback sports. Hey, I want to start off with Coach Van Horn, the conductor of this baseball hump train. And what are they doing? Well, they're winning. And I anticipate what being number one tonight in all the land and all the baseball. Let's get to this basketball hump train under Coach Musk. What can you say? I've been not just a football Hall fan, but a baseball and basketball Hall fan for decades. And now a basketball program is back, living up to the legacy of this program. Congratulations, you, Coach Musk. What can you say about you had to go back to 1978 with Sidney Moncrief, Ronnie Bird, and Marvin Dale. But look at these young freshmen and Devontae Davis, Jalen Williams, and Moses Moody leading this program back to national prominence. And they're getting ready, listen to this, to do a little tap dancing in the big dance. What about Coach Neighbors and this Lady Razorback basketball team? I mean, what can you say? They're on a little win streak themselves, already beating Baylor and UConn this year. But what about Ramirez, Dungy, and Slocum? And they're getting ready to do a little tap dancing themselves. All right, let's get to the indoor. Is there anything we didn't win in? Track and men's track and ladies track program. Is there anything we didn't win in this weekend? So blow the whistle. And let's keep winning, and maybe this will get contagious and lead into our football program. Thank you for taking my call. Go home.
I appreciate the call this morning, Eddie. I think
Soccer. That was, I think, the only thing this
only thing
weekend.
they lost this weekend. I think a lot of Arkansas fans are really happy to see where these programs are right now because it's not just one right now. It's really spring sports as a whole. And let's not forget, again, as you brought up Mike Neighbors' group, they've been really, really on track as of late, and you're hoping they can have another run in the SEC tournament in Greenville. They'll take on the Ole Miss Rebels this Thursday, 7:30. Make sure you're watching that and supporting that team because I know that those girls have been good, especially, there's just, whether it's Chelsea Dungy, Amber Ramirez, it just seems like they have a lot of consistency from that group, and hopefully they'll be able to make a run in Greenville, South Carolina. All right, Tom Murphy's going to be joining us in about 10 or so minutes. Excited to talk with Tom about the LSU game. Excited to talk with him about just some other things occurring in Arkansas sports right now. We'll also get into just kind of some of the main SEC Hog news of the day. Alabama clinched the number 1 seed over the weekend. We're just going to see where Arkansas ends up in the SEC tournament in Nashville.
Going to be a fun week around here. Hey, we're brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. So if you're ready for a career change, you're ready for a change of venue with your job, take your CDL license without an automatic restriction and get to Standard Materials Group. Apply online. I'll tell you where in just a moment. You can be home every night, work with a great company that offers great pay, great benefits, a great team environment. All right, here's how you apply. Go online to jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
And you're also welcome to hop in here at any point this morning. We just took 3 calls in a pretty quick span. Before we get into Tom, we're going to dive into these news. And if you want to hop in here, feel free at 877-377-6963. 9 straight Southeastern Conference wins for this Arkansas basketball team.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
We all know the old saying, the family that pays together stays together. Or at least that's how it goes with the Frenzy family of scratch-off tickets from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. There are 5 games to play with more than 12,000 top prizes, ranging from $100 to $5,000. Whoa, that's a lot of chances and a lot to win. So don't just sit there. Go get your Frenzy ticket today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath road-ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late-model, low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now, you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Evans Body Shop in Van Buren is a proud local business serving the River Valley since 2006. Thanks to our customers, our business is growing. We invite you to stop by, call, or drop in and visit with us about our new paint system, work efficiencies, and certification training program for our entire team. Our commitment to you is to continue to embrace new technologies and operational enhancements that provide the very best experience for you, our customers.
412 Gordon Avenue, Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache. Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
If there's ever been a spring to look forward to, it's this one. So when that first bluer than blue sky day hits, we're going for a drive. And whether it's the really, really long way to the store or a short road out of town, the windows will be down and the radio will be up. Michelin wants to help you rediscover the open road between March 17th and April 5th. Get up to $120 total savings via reward card or virtual account after online submission with the purchase of 4 new select Michelin passenger or light truck tires. $70 tire rebate on all tire lines plus $50 service rebate on Michelin Cross Climate 2 and Pilot family of tires. Offer valid 3/17/2021 to 4/5/2021. See www.michelinman.com/promotions and rebates for complete details. Offer expires 4/5/2027. Void where prohibited. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540, exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality BF Goodrich tires and best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Matt forces it up at the horn, tipped up and in by Portis. It's good. Bobby Portis with the tip in. It looks like the Hogs have won it.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Get into some SEC and Arkansas Razorback stuff coming up. Tom Murphy going to join us in about 5 minutes, as well as your calls and texts. You can do that right now at 877-377-6963.
First, I want to tell you about our good folks over at Natural State Laboratories. If you need a COVID-19 test, they got you covered with their drive-in location in Fort Smith. Natural State Laboratories provides PCR testing. That's the most sensitive, most accurate, and a quick turnaround because Natural State Laboratories has their own labs right here in Arkansas to get you the results the next day. Bring your driver's license and your insurance card. No out-of-pocket expense to you, and you don't need a doctor's order or some kind of note from your primary care physician in order to get this test. If you think you've been exposed, you have symptoms, or you just want peace of mind that you're not positive, show up today from 8 to 1 at Community Bible Church in Fort Smith at 9201 Dallas Street. It's 8 to 1 today at 9201 Dallas Street. Results available to you tomorrow from Natural State Laboratories, healthcare providers available and ready to help you with COVID testing.
Hunter Yurchek, Asa Hutchinson, they made some news on Friday, and I know a lot of you have been wondering, hey, kind of what's going on with not just in just restaurants, what's going on within what could happen with Arkansas athletics.
Mm-hmm.
What are you taking away from all this?
Well, the governor has eased some of he's changed the directives into guidance. Now, it's going to be all up to us as a general public to keep the COVID numbers on the downward trend. The curve is headed in the right direction. Hospitalizations are down. I saw last night 400 and some odd. They need to stay below 750. So, those are the indicators that you need to be watching right now. Question is, can you open up venues, make restaurants more available to everybody, make sporting venues more open, and maintain all of these numbers? There hasn't been really any direct science or reports or whatever that, hey, if we put more people, if we up our capacity in a sporting venue, particularly outdoor venues, from a third to a half or two-thirds, that's going to lead to some kind of ramp up in problems with COVID. So I expect Hunter Yurchek and his team are preparing for some kind of increase in baseball capacity at Baum Walker. I suspect that they'll go to half and then maybe to two-thirds, and then just kind of stair-step it up as the news gets different.
And it helps that it's outdoors, which is something you've referred to. And there's
a bigger venue that you can spread out. And so, they had rain yesterday, but, really no issues with the way they wanted their game day operations to go with their first home weekend with Southeast Missouri State.
Seems like there's been a lot of discussion surrounding Arkansas and seeding these last couple of days. Seeding the SEC tournament, seeding for the NCAA tournament. Right now, you've locked up a top 3 seed for the SEC tournament. I want to be very clear about that. If you win against either South Carolina or Texas A&M, you're going to lock up that 2 seed. And if you somehow, some way lose to both those teams and Florida wins both their games this week, then you would be the 3 seed. So you're going to have a good seed in Nashville regardless. Now, moving on to the NCAA tournament side of things, this was actually updated by, I think it was BG in Rogers who sent it in. Arkansas is now a 13 on Joel Lenardi's projection. So 13 as in the 13th best team seeding-wise in the NCAA tournament. He has you right now as a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. Jerry Palm at CBS Sports has you at a 3.
And obviously the committee's opinion's all that matters. Lenardi gets the teams in the tournament right. Seedings always don't work out. But somewhere, I think 3, and again, what am I basing this on? Gut feeling and just, watching basketball a long time. 3 seems high to me at this point, but certainly not impossible. I think you got to probably at least get to the Sunday game at the SEC tournament. The most important thing is you can't lose a game this week. You're playing South Carolina and perhaps A&M if they actually show up this time.
Mm-hmm.
And those are teams that have lower net rankings, bottom of the league in the SEC. This is not the time to slip on a banana peel. If you have a loss, and I'm okay with a loss, it just can't be this week. It needs to be against one of the better teams in the SEC tournament.
In the SEC tournament. If no one's going to get mad at Arkansas if they fall to Missouri. Right now you're projected, I think, to play Missouri Tigers or the Georgia Bulldogs, if I remember that
I'm not sure which one of those teams I want to play. Georgia's been playing great as of late.
They beat Missouri a couple weeks ago.
So, and we're going to bring Tom Murphy into the conversation in just a moment. Just the key is get through this, and I think by then, if you lose a game this week, you may go from a 4 to a 5 or a 5 to a 6, whatever the committee really thinks at this point. I just know that these 2 teams, these 2 games this week are can't-lose games.
Yeah.
Not must-win, just can't lose.
Let's bring on our guy, Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Tom, I want to start out with the AP Top 25. I know it'll come out probably at some point after the show this morning. Where did you rank Arkansas in the AP Top 25?
Well, if I had a vote, probably somewhere in the low teens.
I switched it. I'm sorry, Tom. Bob's in basketball. I apologize about that. Where did
Bob vote him? Where did Bob put him?
Where would you? Let me ask you this: where would you put them in the top 25 this week?
Yeah, I say low teens, and that's probably about where Bob has them. Bob does not overreact, nor do I on the football poll.
Mm-hmm.
But they've this winning streak and a very tight loss to Oklahoma State thrown in there during the streak has. The Razorbacks, I mean, they're on the move. I agree with what Tommy was saying. If you lose this week, you probably drop one line, but I think they're up in that 4-5 spot if the tournament were to be held right now. So, not that the AP poll means anything in terms of where you're going to be seated, but it's a nice little feather in your cap for a team that's really gotten better as the season has gone on.
And you brought up Oklahoma State. For those who didn't get a chance to watch them this weekend, they won a great basketball game against the Oklahoma Sooners, who lost 2 games this past week. So, Tom, that Oklahoma State, I know Arkansas fans would love to say that they have now 10 straight wins instead of having to say 9 straight conference wins. But that Oklahoma State loss does not look bad, especially the way that Mike Boynton's squad, especially Cade Cunningham, has been playing as of late.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. If they could have kept that guy Boone down, I think that was his last name, that kind of killed him on the board. They would have won that game on the road as well. But I'll tell you what, this South Carolina game, I do a weekly SEC basketball report, and there's not one team more than South Carolina that you cannot figure out what they're going to do on a game-to-game basis. They've won at Florida this year, y'all. And then they blew Georgia out the other day. So and then they've had some just total head scratcher losses. Their veteran roster is got as much experience as anybody in the conference with Kuznard and Brian and those guys, and I really, if they're on, they're going to be hard to beat at Colonial Life.
Tom, and I know it's hard to get into the mind of the committee, but if you were on the committee, how much value would you put into the fact that Arkansas has avenged all of their SEC losses with the exception of Tennessee, and of course they won't get a chance, at least in the regular season, perhaps in the tournament against Oklahoma State, but of the 5 losses,
you've balanced it out or avenged 3 of those. Is there any value in putting that on the resume with the committee when they're looking at Arkansas, and maybe they get a little extra credit, bumped up a seed line based on you came back and beat Bama, Missouri, and LSU now this weekend?
Well, obviously the committee will evaluate every win and every loss, and because Alabama is a nice quadrant 1 win, that'll be measurable for them. And then, LSU, I talk about them a lot. Good LSU, bad LSU. The first half, they were good LSU. And Will Wade talked about it. They were on point. They were executing. He said they should have been up 9 or 10 points at halftime, but they weren't. And that's a credit to Arkansas that was shooting so poorly in that game and kept it so close. And then, of course, they got blown away in the second half, and that was bad LSU. There was some early in the shot clock shots taken by Smart and Watford and some other guys, and they didn't rebound near as well. In the first half, it looked to me like they were the quicker team getting to 50-50 rebounds. And in the second half, that was Arkansas. And it's still a good win for the Razorbacks. It was a revenge win, and as they said, that was the end of their revenge tour, and they capped it with a win. And when you win the way Arkansas has been doing, going down the stretch, that's another point where the committee can put you on a good seed line for you. And I don't see how Arkansas falls past the middle part, an 8 at this point.
All right, I know there's South Carolina in the middle of the week, but are you making alternate plans? Do you have a plan B for Saturday? How much are you expecting Arkansas to actually play Texas A&M?
Well, I have not been keeping up with A&M's COVID on a game-to-game basis, but I cannot imagine the SEC rescheduling this game without getting some type of reassurance that A&M was heading in the right direction. A&M lost a bunch of games. I think they lost 2 to Vanderbilt as well as 2 to Arkansas, and making them travel, a 50-50 deal. A&M lost both to Arkansas, the home game and the road game. Making them travel makes sense. If you're Arkansas, do you want to go down there in the middle of that?
Nope.
So I feel pretty good that they'll play the game. And now if A&M can't do it, I don't see how they can reschedule anybody unless there's another SEC postponement and they can get that other team.
Talking with Tom Murphy here on the Morning Rush. Tom, we were kind of kicking that game around a little bit earlier. That would put Arkansas, so they play on Saturday against the Aggies. They wouldn't play till Friday, so that's what, a 6-day layoff? And then if they didn't play that game, then that means they would not play since Tuesday, which is, what, 10 days?
Too long.
Is that too long for this Arkansas basketball team if they didn't play the Aggies heading into a potential matchup against the Missouri Tigers or the Georgia Bulldogs next Friday in Nashville?
Well, given where they are in the season, it might be a little too long, but I don't see how, let's just say you get off to a somewhat slow start. I think they would recover from that. If they're, quote, a little rusty, they would recover from that in the game and be okay. Also, this time of year, you get a little bit banged up. And so I also think if they had a long rest like that the good would probably outweigh the bad. So either way, they will be mentally set for whatever the schedule says and whatever the travel looks like, and whether they play a game or they don't. This coaching staff will have this team mentally prepared for whatever challenges they have.
Now, I want to say you're the one that's been keeping this statistic. They're now 12-0 when they've had 4 more days of rest before. Is that right?
Yeah, thanks, Ty. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Okay.
Scotty Bordelon with the Whole Hog is also kind of the spearhead of that, starting that statistic. And I believe it is 12-0. And I asked Eric Wilson about that after the last one, and he kind of played it off. But the truth is that coaching staff can just scheme you up. Yeah. They can find your weaknesses. They attack it. They can give you things that you haven't quite seen yet, and can exploit them. And they find ways to motivate this team. So I think it's wholly appropriate that this coaching staff and this team is the one that's 12-0 when you have 4 more days.
All right, before you go, a weather-shortened series sweep yesterday with probably the most dominant win of the series, but Arkansas takes 4 over Southeast Missouri State, gets to 7-0 with the baseball team. Just any thoughts after what you saw this weekend from Arkansas playing Southeast Missouri State?
Yeah, I think I told you guys earlier, I'm still a little worried about hitting in some spots, and that's still the case. But what I like about them is they showed the backbone, because they look down and out. I mean, as Dave Van Horn said yesterday, in that Thursday game, SEMO had them. They were up 5-2, and Dylan Dodd had really done a great job keeping them down. But they managed to find their way back in the 9th inning and win the game. And so they're a team that has now done that. They've come back, I believe it's 4 of the 7 wins that they've come back from deficit, and so, some of them very late. So they've got that going for them. They still have some things to sort out at starting pitcher. I could go on and on about this. And they have 2 more weekends to get that settled before they start SEC play. But between left field, third base, DH, they've got to find guys who can produce. And as long as Matt Goodhart is healthy, he's got a stomach issue. I think they're fine. But getting Robert Moore going more in the leadoff spot and a few other issues. But otherwise, their pitching is going to be able to really help them.
While we were chatting, the D1 baseball top 25 rankings have come out. You want to take a guess at who the new number 1 team in the country is, Tom?
Yeah, I've already seen it out there. D1 and Baseball America, Razorbacks number 1. So they're going to have the bullseye on their back, everybody they face.
All right, so good stuff. The number 1 ranked Arkansas baseball team, 7-0 on the year.
Yep. Murray State coming in, and then I think they got a little midweek in La Tech, and then boom, conference play starts.
Tom, we'll talk more Arkansas baseball, Arkansas basketball on Thursday, buddy, and hopefully the Texas A&M game will go according to plan on Saturday, but wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah, Ty, I get a bad feeling hearing from you about that, man. But I think it's going to happen. Thank y'all.
All right, see you, buddy.
Tom Murphy with us on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV. RV show pricing has already arrived at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. They got the best brands of Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer, like Grand Design, Forest River, Vibe, KZ, and Sportsman, and you'll get RV show pricing right now as well. And you'll get a lifetime warranty. The only place you'll find that is at Wheels in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Now, I don't think this is just limited to Arkansas fans, but anytime a fan base sees a coach have a high volume of success in a particular year, in a particular time period, you see people come out of the woodwork, gotta pay him, you gotta pay him, you gotta pay him. Now, Muss right now is tied for the lowest paid coach in the Southeastern Conference basketball last week. Will win. I think that was at the bottom of the list, if I remember that right. Oaks just got a raise this offseason, midseason from
a couple last week. What, to $3 million?
$3.225 million.
Okay.
So it was at $2.45 million. It's now to $3.225. It's $3,225,000, whatever it is. So now you're seeing all these people, and I don't know the ones with the decisions, with the making the decisions when it concerns the athletic department. Muss, like Pittman, has a relatively incentive-based contract. The more you win, the more you get paid. That's how it should be. The more success you have in any fashion, any life, the more you should get paid. So Hunter Yurchek is in an interesting spot right now. and everyone else is in that athletic department when it concerns to the money side of things. What should they do?
Well, I am of the belief you don't react during the middle of the year. I think already, no matter what happens the rest of the way, they lost 4 in a row and you were done. 2 this week, 1 of the SEC tournament, 1 of the tournament. He has earned an extension and a raise at this point. So that is coming. I don't like mid-season adjustments. I don't like knee-jerk reactions. So I think you sit down late March, early April, whenever the time is right, and you get this worked out because he needs to be in the top third of coaches' salaries in this league. Obviously, this is a coach you want to stay, and you want to have that probably locked up sooner rather than later as the coaching carousel, I think, will spin. I didn't think it was going to spin a lot in football. We were wrong about that. So I'm fully expecting there to be openings in basketball.
Because based on what was there, 4 different hires, 4 different openings in football, why won't there be in basketball? So I think you got to step to the plate. You got to pay the money. I think that's exactly what Hunter Yurachek will do because Muss has proved he is worth it.
I want to give Jackson Collier some credit at JC HoopsPod on Twitter for calculating where the coaches in their second year, not just in the SEC but across the board, are. Muss is at 2. The only guy that's got a higher winning percentage than Eric Musselman is Mick Cronin at UCLA, the former Cincinnati coach, now UCLA head coach. So Muss has done a great job. He's ahead of Nate Oates. Now, Nate Oates didn't have as good a season last year, obviously, as he's having this year, but he is ahead at that. So it shows when, so far, you're really excited about Yurachek's 2 main hires, Pittman, Muss. There's not a lot of pushback on either of those hires at this point, especially with the way this basketball program is playing and the way the football program looks to be headed. 8-7.
I was just say real quick, maybe if you don't have a South Carolina or a A&M game at the end of the week, maybe you have a little more time to work on this, but I don't think Eric Musselman wants a pause in the middle of preparing for games to talk contract at this point.
Yeah, 877-377-6963, the number to call or text in. Want to welcome in Carl in the Vaca this morning. He wants to talk Little Arkansas baseball and basketball. Carl, go ahead, my brother.
Hey, guys. This basketball team just finds ways to win. There's not much more to say than that. We're getting hot at the right time. It's great to see, and I talked about it last week in the past. There's been games that Arkansas has had to play that, will help better or put us in a better position for the postseason, whether it be the SEC tournament or the NCAA tournament. And right now we've seen to come through in all those games. And I really hope we can finish out the season strong, keep this momentum rolling into March. Now that we're in March in the NCAA tournament, I really think, depending on how we finish out the season and if we win a game in the SEC tournament, best case scenario, I think we're a 4 seed. Worst case scenario, I think we're a 6. I'd much rather be a 4 as opposed to a 5 seed. However, I know that's not at the hands of, it depends on who wins, who doesn't win, all that stuff. But I really do think Arkansas has every opportunity to make a 4 seed. As for baseball, the bats are finally starting to warm up. It's good to see. I think the biggest question mark coming into the season was our pitching. We're really starting to see that we have a lot more depth pitching than we feel like we've had in the past. I feel like this pitching staff, in a sense, the deepness of it kind of rivals the 2018 Arkansas Razorback team. So I just want to touch on those 2 points real quick. Thanks for having me on.
Carl, appreciate the call. The 2018 starting lineup, if I remember this correct, B. Knight, Casey Murphy, Rogers Kidd, and then I almost said Isaiah Joe. Why am I forgetting Zay? What's Isaiah's last name? Campbell. Zayday. That was your starting pitching. And then you had some other guys coming out of the pen that were pretty good. Kasi Shock, some others. So it's pretty salty. I thought Connor Nolan had a pretty impressive Game 2 performance. He comes in out of the bullpen, really has command on the mound. And it was good to see him just kind of his stature and how he commanded himself out there.
Yeah, and he didn't look like someone that was, sulking around, pouting, upset about the fact that you weren't in the starting road. Went out and get his job and earned the win in the way he pitched.
I was sitting in the hog pen, and we were second row behind the fence and then right next to the bullpen. So we had pretty good action, pretty good vantage point watching the guys warm up in the pen on Friday.
All right, more of your calls, more of your hot takes on a Hot Take Monday coming up. We're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. You said your dad had a good time at Gaston's?
Great, not just a good time, a great time.
Just went and kind of relaxed, didn't fish, just had some great meals, did get out and do some exploring around Gaston's.
Explore the animals.
Said he saw some of the wildlife that's there on property. They have a nature park there.
A couple birds were chase him. He thought it was funny, so him and the stepmom had a great time this weekend.
Hey, point is, there's lots to do and just a great place to relax. Even if fishing's really not my deal. I'm more of a golfer. Hey, they got a great golf course at Big Creek, about 15 minutes from Gaston, so it's a great place to stay. Beautiful part of our state. One of our best kept secrets here in Arkansas is right there on the White River, right below the Bull Shoals Dam. Even if you don't want to fish, it's a great way to kick back and relax and just enjoy a weekend. Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer. And with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle, owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies, Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you concerned about possible COVID exposure for you or your employees? Fort Smith has a new option for PCR COVID testing that is fast and accurate. Natural State Laboratories out of Little Rock has opened a PCR COVID drive-thru location in Fort Smith at Community Bible Church. PCR testing is the most sensitive, accurate test available, and results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-thru testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
The heater broke down, I had to act fast. Wiggled some wires, I broke the thermostat. My wife got cold, her nose started to freeze. She said, hey man, got a call, AshleyAir.com. When your heater breaks down, they're the one you want, AshleyAir.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Technician showed up the very same day. Got it fixed right and fast, he was on his way. Next time your heater breaks, you know who to call. There's only one choice, AshleyAir.com.
Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella, wood smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. Fresh, fast, Jim's Razorback Pizza. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes arriving weekly. Choose from Nike, FootJoy, Echo, Under Armour, New Balance, Asics, Puma, and Adidas. While you're there, pick up a hat or check out the wide selection of apparel and accessories. Need golf balls? In stock now. The new tailor-made TP5s or the Titleist Pro V1 or Pro V1X golf balls. Check Facebook for daily specials and new arrivals. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Brinkroll Furniture is your Made in the USA headquarters. We carry as many Made in the USA products as we can, including Jackson & Catnapper sofas and lugs, Speed Queen washers and dryers, and Serenity mattresses. This month, we are offering special pricing on cash and finance. We are family owned and offer in-store no credit check financing. Visit us at FrankRowFurniture.com. Frank Row Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
We've got the wings, you've got the mouth. Watch basketball the right way with Buffalo Wild Wings. Get the breakaway bundle and receive 30 award-winning wings for only $29.99. 15 traditional and 15 boneless, plus fries for only $29.99. Order takeout or delivery online through the Beat Ups app. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. What are you waiting for? Watch with wings and get buckets. Available at participating locations for a limited time, dine-in, and takeout only. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
The pitch. He struck him out swinging, and the Razorbacks will get out of Texas with a perfect 3-0 record.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
A lot of hogs this morning on World is it Pig Day or Hog Day? I said it earlier.
Said Pig Day earlier.
Okay, it's World Pig Day here, and as it should be with Arkansas. Men's, women's basketball, baseball, softball, and a lot of other spring sports having a lot of success at this point. Randy on Fort Smith is on hold. We will get to his call coming up. But first, I want to tell you about our friends at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Yeah, if you're making plans to get out and watch the game this week or any of the games, particularly the rest of baseball season, Joe's Grill and Cantina is the place to go. Taco Tuesday, and then Wednesdays they have the half-price apps and taps. Anytime the games are on, half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. So football, basketball, baseball, they've got them all on. So Taco Tuesdays are always popular. Wednesdays popular. Fajita Fridays are popular with the steak and chicken fajitas that are on special. And then, of course, they do the dollar tacos on Saturdays as well. So make plans to be at Joe's. You can also check out their Saturday brunch that begins at 10:45 at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Randy, your thoughts on the Arkansas games this weekend, man? Randy, you there, buddy?
Oh, okay, I hear you. I didn't know you went to me. Yeah, I was just going to comment on the baseball team. I really think that the Jackson Wiggins is going to be one of the weekend starters come SEC time. I mean, that kid throws 96, 98, and it looks like he's just playing catch. I can't see him just being used as a part-time role, but there's so many options at that starting pitch, and I'm not worried about it. It's good to see Connor really do well, but I thought Wicklander was even better. And then Goodhart being back is going to make a huge difference in that lineup. We have not hit like I thought we would, but, man, there is a lot of hitters, and I'm not worried about our hitting. And being ranked number one, I don't think it's a fluke. They earned it. Anybody that thinks that there's probably going to be a week where we're not, but I think this team will stay well inside the top 10, and they could run number one for a while. But just being number one at any time in any sport is a phenomenal thing. I mean, it just gives you a little extra pride. And on the basketball team, I was going to comment on something that I really love about this team is like Moses Moody didn't really shoot well Saturday, but that dude's getting more aggressive and drawing fouls, and he was on the floor. They are very scrappy, and I give a lot of that credit to Moody and DeMonte Davis. And then Note's defense Saturday was by far the best I've ever seen him. I think he wants to play. So he gave a great effort on defense. And, he's always going to take a few bad shots. I mean, he's a scorer, and scorers are going to take a few bad shots. But I thought he tried to play really under control and play defense to do. And then, again, the kid right here from Northside, I mean, I know I bring him up every time, but the kid's only going to get better. Offensively, he's just scratching the surface, and kid is a beast. But great time to be a Razorback fan. And, I would get as excited as Eddie, but that's just not who I am. Y'all have a good day.
Hey, appreciate the call, Randy. And when you mentioned Devo Davis, he's actually going to be on the Hog Talk podcast, which we'll release later today. HitThatLine.com, wherever you listen to podcasts. I know a lot of people will be excited to hear from him. You mentioned kind of the grit, toughness, and the willingness to get on the floor. I mean, Moses Moody's a likely lottery pick, and he's sacrificing his body day in, day out when he's driving about that. And our Morning Rush poll question this morning is, what's been the most impressive thing about this basketball game in the 9-game winning streak? And we just had Randy bring up just the physical toughness they seem to be displaying. I've really noticed the team aspect, especially on offense, has picked up tremendously. If you watch how quick the ball moves, even I feel like J.D. Notae's bought in a little more. He can be a ball stopper at times still, but I think he's moved the ball a lot better than he did at the beginning of the season. And these guys know that if they keep playing like they're doing on both ends of the floor, they're going to keep winning games. That win streak is only going to elevate. And there hasn't been a lot of showmanship. There hasn't been a lot of me in this winning streak. It's been about the team, and that's why this team's had a lot of success lately.
Yeah, and I think it really comes back to defense. That's really what is at the core of what Musselman wants to do is good, tough, fundamental defense, make teams really uncomfortable from the three-point line. I think that's as much as we talk about driving to the rack, getting to the free throw line, all of the things that have went into the success on the offensive end, creating points in transition. I think when you look particularly this past week, Arkansas just shut down teams with good defense in key stretches of the game. Now, LSU had a better first half, but I think Arkansas in the second half defensively was on point. They didn't foul a lot. And the reason for that is they were playing with their feet, not their hands. So I think the defense, while that's hard to show in a box score or talk statistically, you can look at rebounds, you can look at forcing turnovers, those type of things. I think Arkansas's just good half-court defense has been a key here.
Justin Smith returning has also been a major factor. He has another double-double last night, and he just fills up a stat sheet. Also may have had the dunk of the year in Arkansas basketball.
Yeah.
He shared some information with the Arkansas media following the conclusion of the LSU game on Saturday, and Bob Holt and Muss had a little fun with that yesterday.
The scouting report cover had like Revenge Tour on it, and it lasted the Revenge Tour, something like that, whose idea was, and just kind of the theme of all that.
I didn't know he was going to narc us out about what we were doing. We kind of dubbed these, 2 games as a Revenge Tour or Revenge Week, spliced in a couple movie clips on stuff that would have to do with that. We had a hype video, followed it up with what we wanted the headlines to be after the game. They seemed to like it, I guess.
Do you remember what movie clips you spliced in?
Some of them were from Cobra Kai.
Now, Cobra Kai is the spinoff from the Karate Kid series that I know many of you are familiar with. It's kind of the new millennial age, and I know that a lot of you raise your eyebrows and say, I'm not watching. It's actually pretty good. Now, it's not as good as the Karate Kid, but it's actually pretty good. But what Justin Smith has been for this basketball team, I know Muss was rizzing him a little bit. He has been unbelievable, and he just adds another element and another facet to that team of toughness and athleticism. He almost brought the house down of over 4,000 people at Budweiser Arena when he threw that dunk. I thought Devo was like, you saw Devo just screaming in joy. There's a really good video on the Razorback basketball social media accounts of how happy and excited Devo Davis is. And it was really cool to see Justin honored, Vance honored, and all the guys honored senior day because they've just been such an integral part of this basketball game, and they've managed to rise the ship after some people thought it was sinking early on in the season.
No, I mean, early in the conference season after those 3 games. I mean, so, again, we've talked about avenging those losses, how important that's been. And other than Tennessee, you've balanced out every loss you've had in this league. So I think that is a great extra to your resume.
Yeah, he's been great. There's just a lot of different people that have contributed. Jalen Tate. I mean, really your transfers and the true freshmen, they've been as big a part of your team as any because that's the majority of your basketball team. And I know Jimmy Dykes commented on it. Eric Musselman said it. There's multiple people that said it. I don't know if there's any other team in college basketball that relies on their freshmen as much as Muss does because, 3 true freshmen, the way Devontae Davis, Jalen Williams, and Moses Moody have been playing. And you can tell they take a special pride at being Arkansas kids and being on this basketball team.
You assume Moody's not going to be here next year, one-and-done type player, but you think about Devo, you think about Jalen Williams, who we've gotten to see more of, and those 3 freshmen back. there's going to be a lot of experienced players in the transfer portal that might want to come to Arkansas that Arkansas would choose just because they know the core they're going to get to work around.
It's not to the level of the Tom Brady effect, but when you're a college basketball player or high school kid and you're seeing what's going on with this program right now, it encourages you. It makes you think a little bit. It's like, do I need to play in Fayetteville next year? Is that where I needed it up?
Starting to get some attention.
Something to think about. Your calls, your texts coming up here on the Morning Rush. Hour number 3. We got wide open segments heading your way. Stay with us, folks.
We all know the old saying, the family that pays together stays together. Or at least that's how it goes with the Frenzy family of scratch-off tickets from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. There are 5 games to play with more than 12,000 top prizes, ranging from $100 to $5,000. Whoa, that's a lot of chances and a lot to win. So don't just sit there. Go get your Frenzy ticket today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
Can you clean up my yard?
You betcha. That's what the grounds guys are here for. Grounds guys will clean up any of that lingering winter debris like leaves and branches, prep your lawn for spring, and give your flower beds a fresh new look. The grounds guys is your one-stop shop for all your lawn care needs in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or visit groundsguys.com. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today. 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beers. Beer in Texas. St. Louis, Missouri.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays. Sundays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. However, there is a chance of a few rogue showers across the south. Our high today in the low to mid 50s. We have a slight chance of seeing a little rain across the south again tonight. Better chance through the overnight. We drop down low 30s north, upper 30s south, and then a chance of rain continuing Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Mosquito Joe of Arkansas is an Arkansas-owned family business committed to making outside fun again in the natural state. For a mosquito-free yard this summer, call Mosquito Joe at 479-202-9960.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Moody in the backcourt across the timeline. Smith's going to get a windmill slam on the other end. Nobody got back for LSU, 83-73 with 12 seconds to go.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush. Borderline erotic. With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 3 of The Morning Rush. 9 straight SEC basketball wins for Eric Musselman and his team. They have been on a tear as of late. That's where a lot of our conversation's been centered around this morning. Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV.
Yeah, RV show pricing already underway at Wheels RV, so no need to drive or find a show to get the best deal. They've got them right now at Wheels, and they invite you to skip the lines and get the best price with a lifetime warranty. You won't find that offer anywhere in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. You can get it at Wheels RV. They have a mobile service shuttle, so they've made owning a new RV easier than ever. Great service, great low prices, easy to deal with. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
The Morning Rush poll question that has been posed this morning, you're welcome to answer it at 877-377-6963. What's been just your most impressive part? What have you been most impressed with by this Arkansas basketball team in the 9-game SEC winning streak? I'd like to go out to Texter Cannon, welcoming PA to the program. PA wants to touch on 2 basketball players that have made a difference. PA, who are those 2 players?
Well, I'll answer if you don't mind, good morning, guys, first of all.
Good morning.
If you don't mind, I'll answer the poll question.
Go ahead.
And I'll say it's focus. The young, talented freshmen who I'm about to speak about are focused. Back in December, early January, when Jalen Williams took a shot, I cringed, but no more. No more. I want him taking those shots when he's open. And, he can knock those down. He's grown into the part, and he was one of the players I was going to talk about. He and Devo they've made such a difference to this basketball team. And I know Smith is the star and Moody, but those 2 guys have made such a difference, particularly Devo. a longer, bigger, stronger version of Kareem Reed with that left hand. And he's just he's fun to watch. He enjoys the game. He just bathes himself in playing defense. He loves it. You can just tell. And with guys like that, if you can recruit guys like that that enjoy playing defense, you're not going to have any problems. And, Eric Musselman does deserve a raise, and I agree with Tommy. It doesn't need to be now. It needs to be later on after the season where you can do it and do it right. So, anyway, that's it, guys.
Thanks, P.A. Yeah, what if you did it now and then he made a run to the Final Four? Then you'd feel like you owed him some more, right? That's why you wait and you see what the whole thing is.
You know what's so odd about Devo Davis is, to PA's point, to other people I've talked to, did you watch him in high school?
Devo? Yeah, I
watched him.
I did not work any of his games. I watched him at Jacksonville. I watched 2 or 3 of his games in the state tournament last March.
Do you remember what kind of defense he played in high school?
Well, I mean,
it's a trick question. He didn't play defense.
He didn't play defense.
It is so weird to watch this kid that I watched in high school who didn't play defense.
Yeah.
And listen, a lot of times
I only saw 2 or 3 games, but yeah, I mean, but the game they were going to win or lose based on the ball being in his hands on the other end of the floor. So,
and
at Jacksonville,
he's fit into his role. I know that some people were critical of Mason Jones' defense last year, but he had to use so much energy and effort on offense. That's kind of what. But if you watch Devontae Devo Davis in high school, and he likes to be called by Devo, dude didn't play defense in high school. And then now he is either 1A or 1B, depending on where you put him and Jalen Tate. I know Justin Smith's up there as well on defense, as the best defender on your team. It is a complete 180 to what he's done. And what that kind of leads into, y'all, on a Monday morning, is these guys have bought into their roles, right? You've got all these, even Vance Jackson, who was averaging 13 points in New Mexico, and he's not happy with his playing time. I wouldn't be happy with my playing time if I was getting in. Desi's probably not that happy with his playing time, considering what he was last year, this year. But they've sacrificed their self-accomplishments in order to get the team goal, which, again, for all the either to participate in team sports over the years, you know that should be the main goal, but it's harder to do in today's day and age with so much individuality being focused on.
It'll be interesting to see the kind of culture that Sam Pittman creates around his program, because right now when you look at baseball and you look at basketball with Musselman and Van Horn, and it's easy to say, boy, the culture's right. No one says the culture's wrong when things aren't going right, but, I mean, no one points that out. But it just seems like from the outside looking in, everybody wants to win for each other with this basketball team. The accountability, the way they go about their business, I find just, again, we're not on the inside, just looking from the outside. It appears the culture with this program is so right. And you got to have that click to be successful at an elite level. You can't just do it on talent. There has to be more than that there. And you can see it with baseball and basketball right now.
Yeah.
So
it's a good way to look at it. 877-377-6963, the number to call or text in case you're just hopping in hour number 3 of the Morning Rush. Our poll question is, what have you been most impressed with this basketball team in the 9-game SEC winning streak? Got a couple good responses. We'll first go to the text lines. Dennis talks about grit. That's what he's been impressed with. Chris in Greenwood talks about how this team is just taking over in the second half of basketball games. Let's hear what Lonnie in Green Forest has to say. Lonnie, you wanted to weigh in our poll question. You go right ahead.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, getting healthy helps, but I'm impressed with how Musselman has adjusted his rotation and adjusted it to the SEC level, because it seemed like our rotation before the SEC was he changed it when we got into the SEC, and he saw what it was and what he was up against and how good the SEC is. And then I'm also equally impressed with the players buying into what he's doing, and he's got the knowledge, but they're buying into it, and he's making them just about as good as they can be, probably. I mean, he's making them good, and they're buying into it. So that's what impresses me.
Lonnie, I appreciate you. You're exactly right. The ability to get these young men to buy in. And it wasn't easy. Let's go back. They were 2-4 in conference, and it looked kind of bleak with one of their best, if not their most important player, Justin Smith, being out. It was not looking good for this Arkansas basketball team. Flip the script. You've now won 9 straight conference games. You're projected 3, 4, 5-ish range in the NCAA tournament. And I know a lot of people, you can point to a variety of different things, the coaching, but credit these guys for just staying attuned, continue to believe in their head coach, because a lot of guys would just have thrown in the towel, being where they were, just kind of mailed it in the rest of the season. This team didn't do that, and that's why they are where they're there right now.
Well, it's a balance when you're Musselman and this staff of knowing when to kick and knowing when to hug. You know, when does the team need a kick in the rear and when you need to put your arm around them? And you probably do a lot of that in each practice to some degree. So, but it's easy to buy into what a coach is telling you. It's easy to buy into what a leader is telling you when the results pan out. They're not always immediate. But you want to be playing your best basketball at this time. Look at Tennessee. They were playing better basketball earlier in the year than they are right now. I'm sure that's a concern for Alabama fans. Are they going to play their best basketball in March? Because we've used baseball as an example earlier in the conversation. 2015 is a great example of a season that was okay, but you played your best baseball at the right time of the postseason. Now's the time to play that best basketball. It's been a while since Arkansas's had the hopes and the prospects of a March run, but you got to play your best right now.
We'll talk some Arkansas baseball coming up, and we'll get into just some headlines, Hog News, SEC news, and stuff. But I do want to touch on this before we change the subject. Weston Benville brings up an excellent point. He says, I hate that these seniors and Moses Moody won't get to witness Bud Walton at its peak. It's the least we could have done for them, and we weren't even allowed to do that. That is a shame. Now, I've been to big games this season, including the game on Saturday against LSU, but we know the capability of what Bud Walton can do to an opponent when you stuff 19 to 20K in there.
Yeah, that's a good point from Wes, that they never really got to experience true hog ball, from that standpoint, what Bud Walton is capable of. But I have been very impressed of how loud 4,000 or 4,500, however many are in that building, can be. That building, because it's built underground, the way it's constructed down in that hole, it holds its sound well. And even with a fourth of the crowd there, compared to capacity, I've been impressed. Very impressed. All right, more coming up here. It's a Hot Take Monday. It's brought to you right now by the Grounds guys. They serve Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Hey, springtime weather's on its way, and before you know it, the yard's going to be sprouting weeds. You're going to have to start mowing. Who do you want to take care of your lawn and your landscaping this year? Well, call the Grounds guys. They do it all. Mowing, landscaping, spring cleanup, weed and feed, and continued maintenance to make your yard look great. And right now, if you'll call and mention you heard it here on the Morning Rush, 50% off your first 6-step weed and feed application. So now is the time to be thinking about how that yard's going to look this spring and summer, and it all starts with taking care of the yard today. Call the Grounds guys, 303-GUYS. That's 479-303-GUYS, or log on to groundsguys.com.
So your Arkansas baseball team finds itself number one, Baseball America, D1 Baseball. There'll be several other polls that will come up that will have the Razorbacks at number one following a 4-game series sweep over SEMO. Now, Ole Miss lost to UCF in their series in Oxford over the weekend. That's why you were able to bolt to first place. We talked about what you've been impressed with most with this Arkansas basketball team. I think when you look at Arkansas baseball, the pitching's there, the timeliness hitting's there, the bats opened up a little bit this weekend, and now as we get closer to SEC play, and I feel like we say this every year, you're just excited about Arkansas baseball as we get into conference play.
We're becoming a little bit like Bama football or Kentucky basketball fans. We sit back and we cross our arms and say, all right, show me something new. And this year, the pitching depth, and I think you're going to see this. This is the thing we have to have an adjustment for in our expectations and calibration is every other team's going to be deep. They got seniors back. Their rosters are constructed different this year because of COVID and the way they let you construct your roster. So it's not going to be easy. That's why the SEC, man, just winning that West is going to be brutal, going to be difficult. Enjoy number one. Here's the reality. There's going to be times when you get into league play, it's not going to last. And I hope I'm dead wrong about that, but that's going to be the hardest thing is
you're
coming out of this and still. But you've proven to me, and I think that the rest of the world, you're a top 5, certainly a top 10 team, and that's what matters, being in a position to host a regional, and then everything else is host a regional and a super regional, get to Omaha. That's all that matters. Then let the chips fall wherever they may. And that cart is a mile in front of the horse.
Yeah.
So you can't even think about it right now. You didn't get into your first league game. But you've clearly seen this team is definitely a top 8 team in the country. Number 1 this week. Enjoy it as long as we can.
Jesse in Mountain Home text in. He says, how many people are attending the baseball games? Is it
4,400.
4,400.
You got to keep those two. It's 4,000 for basketball. Right now, 4,400. Now, with the news that the governor gave the state on Friday that some of the guidance or some of the directives have now become guidance, I would suspect Hunter Yurachek's going to give us some more news. He gave a statement on Friday. They'll evaluate. They'll get people in place and tickets and all the logistics in place to welcome more fans. But if they went from 4,400 to 6,500 in the immediate future at maybe to half capacity, won't be surprised at all if they start inching that number up, maybe stair-stepping it up.
And you were discussing regionals, super regionals, College World Series coming up. That's, like you mentioned, the cart's way ahead of the horse. But one thing we are getting closer to for men's basketball is the SEC tournament, the NCAA tournament. SEC tournament starts next Wednesday. Now, Arkansas will not play till Friday. They've locked up a top 3 seed. If they win one of their 2 games this week, they've clinched, or if Florida loses one of their games this week, they've clinched. So really easy pathway to the 2 seed if you're Arkansas this week.
You've earned it. So now just go out. These are games that, listen, you're going to be in the tournament, but maybe you're not a 6 seed. You are a 4 or a 5 seed if you can win these 2 games this week. This is just kind of like putting the candles on the cake this week. I mean, you have done the job all season long. You've put yourself in a position to, like you said, be the 2 seed in the tournament, a 4, 5, or 6. I think you can be a 4 or 5 if you just don't mess up this week. And I don't think the conference tournament has nearly the weight as you think you do. You just can't have one of these damaging losses on your resume. So if you lost to Missouri, you lost to Georgia, those are the most likely first opponents right now for Arkansas. That's not damaging like losing to South Carolina or A&M. So don't slip on the banana peel this week.
Alabama clinched the number 1 seed in the SEC tournament over the weekend. It's good to see Nate Oates' squad having a successful year, and they will be the first since title winner in Alabama since 2002. That's the last time. I think Mark Godfrey was the head coach back in the day. The women's basketball team, you look at the women's side of things, they got a matchup this Thursday, SEC tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. They will take on Ole Miss. Now, when you look ahead in a couple weeks from now, we mentioned the SEC tournament begins next Wednesday. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, so 13 days from now, is Selection Sunday. And many of you have been wondering, hey, what is their seed going to be? Where it's going to end up? Right now, Jerry Palm's got you at a 3 of CBS Sports, and then Joe Lenardi has you at a 4. He's got you as the 13th best team in college basketball on his NCAA tournament selection seedings. That's subject to change, but you're really liking where you are in both the men's and women's side of things for Arkansas basketball.
Yeah, and I think you'll hopefully see a good tournament run for the women's team in Greenville. They made last year they ran to the finals after beating A&M in the semifinals. And no, not last year. It was the year before. Obviously, there wasn't any tournament. But so you really want to see what this team can do, because the women's team, once they get into tournament, the level of play, it's kind of like college baseball. We keep making these comparisons. You come out of SEC play, you go into the regionals, the level of play drops. Same thing for women's basketball. The level you have to play in, day out in the women's game is so brutal that these first couple of matchups in the NCAA tournament will be easier than what they probably face most nights in the SEC. All right, back to the phones in just a moment. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. They have the perfect solution to buying a pool but not busting the bank account this year. They got 15-foot semi-in-ground pools starting at $99.97. So still have the backyard of your dreams, but don't spend a fortune. Less than $10,000 for 15-foot semi-in-ground pools with Burton Pools and Spas. And they can take care of installation and making your backyard be the backyard of your dreams. So vacation at home this summer with Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 Zero Street in Fort Smith, and in Springdale just off I-49 at the 412 exit. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Want to go to Saline County and welcome in Gentle Ben to the conversation. He's got an SEC tournament question. Gentle Ben, what is it, my man?
I believe y'all just about answered it. I was really SEC connected to the NCAA as far as, how we did in the SEC tournament if we do win these last 2 games, and we probably will, and I'm thinking we will and all that good stuff. But I was just wondering if that how we do in the SEC tournament would help us get a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. And I think y'all pretty much answered that. And just what you said, when I clicked in and got to hear y'all. And so, but I did want to say that I was also thinking heavily this morning and the past few days that as far as the money goes up there at the University of Arkansas, I believe that they had better have some money sought back to give our athletic director a good raise, because I believe there's going to be a lot of colleges that may be on Arkansas's level, or some of them might think
it's a good point.
Higher than Arkansas's level. That they better be ready to give him a stout raise and beat the bidders out there.
Gentlemen, appreciate the call. Now, we've discussed a little bit this morning about the possibility of Eric Musselman getting a raise, but I mean, he's 2 for 2 on big hires, right? I mean, I don't know if we can say that.
I don't know if
2 years into basketball, 1 year into football, but
I think you definitely can say yes on Musselman. You need to
still waiting.
I mean,
okay.
Sam Pittman's headed down the right track, but you wouldn't say it's a completed
signed,
project.
sealed, and delivered.
Right. I mean, you've got a basketball program that's ranked back inside the top 20. We think they may be a top 15 team later today.
There's no doubt they're going to be top 15. It's just debatable if a top 10 or not.
We'll see where point is. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament. You're not wringing your hands over whether you're going to get in or out. So the finished product is kind of there with basketball. I don't think the finished product is there with football yet.
So you were asking about the SEC tournament, General Ben, and I looked at the schedule. I just wanted to make sure I was correct in this. So next Friday is when you're most likely going to play. It's not sealed yet, but that's going to be the 7 o'clock game. The 2 seed
I'd
against.
plan on it.
Yeah,
I plan heavily on it.
That's probably a good way to put it.
I'd go ahead and pay for the catering.
And then the next day you would play at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Is what if you ended up winning that game, and then the championship's at 1 p.m.
Kind of a quick
Sunday.
turnaround.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Now, Clay, let me ask you this. Clay made a statement last week that they shouldn't try and win the SEC tournament. It was something around that. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I mean, what? Okay, you win the tournament. Are you going to be a 2 seed now? No. Yeah. Are you going to be? I think a 3 is the absolute ceiling. And 2 weeks ago, I didn't think that was possible. Getting to the tournament final, I agree with Clay that having that extra day of preparation, rest your legs, get back home. I think if you could just win 1. I mean, if you win 2, you might as well win the whole thing, right? If you're going to have to go and play the finals, you might as well win the thing. But I just don't think there's a lot of value in that for Arkansas as far as improving their seeding at that point.
So you think best case scenario would just be for them to beat either Missouri or Georgia, assuming they're going to play, and then lose the next day on Saturday?
You hate to say losing's the best case scenario, but I don't think it's damaging if that's the way it plays out.
Okay. All right, more of the Morning Rush is on the way. I want to talk about, what could potentially happen with venues in college sports.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
And results are available the next day. No appointment is necessary. Convenient COVID PCR drive-through testing in Fort Smith is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday at Community Bible Church, located at 9201 Dallas Street.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Owning an LS tractor is about a lot of things.
For me, it's about lift capacity.
It's about the hydraulics.
Owning an LS, it's about how well it's made.
Steel, baby. More features.
Standard features.
It's about the land.
Having something passed down.
It's about having pride in my work.
It's about owning the best.
LS Tractor. What's it about for you?
Discover what LS tractors are all about at R-Track, Arkansas's oldest LS tractor dealer, on I-40 exit 58 Clarksville, or visit rtrackwithac.com.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the heated patio and the cozy dining room. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 to 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
The heater broke down, I had to act fast. Wiggled some wires, I broke the thermostat. My wife got cold, her nose started to freeze. She said, hey man, gotta call AshleyAir.com. When your heater breaks down, they're the one you want. AshleyAir.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. Technician showed up the very same day. Got it fixed right and fast, he was on his way. Next time your heater breaks, you know who to call. There's only one choice. AshleyAir.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, and I want to help you get a great deal on a great car. So I'm making it easy with prices up to $3,113 below retail on the best selection of Rath road-ready vehicles we've had in months. These are late-model, low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs that have been hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. You just can't buy a better pre-owned vehicle. And right now, you can save with prices up to $3,113 below retail. If you're waiting on your tax refund, my TaxMax program can help with that by getting you access to your money now. Worried about your credit? Don't be. My For the People credit approval process can get you approved and driving your nicer, newer car today. If you're not in the market right now, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center, the home of half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Don't wait. Get the nicer, newer car you want today and save up to $3,113 at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
now bring it back out. Here's Washington on the drive.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
It's got a wild text in here from Jesse in Mountain Home. We'll get into it coming up. I feel bad for Jesse. I think he got swindled a little bit, but I guess he's a diehard Arkansas baseball
that's what a
fan.
diehard baseball fan does. Pays nearly $200 for 2 tickets. Now, 105, that's actually where our seats are at. Those are great seats, section 105, between the first base dugout and the and home plate. So, Jesse, enjoy the game. They say two tickets for Sunday's game against Murray State, nearly 100 apiece. Wow. Hey, we're brought to you by Pradco. If you're out doing some cold water bass fishing, the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior, it's the best for duplicating small schools of shad. It can be worked from the top water column all the way down to the bottom. And if you're trying to win a bass tournament this spring or just go out and have a great weekend trying to catch some white bass and some stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior will help you catch them. Hey, find it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, and online at lurenet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior.
So this kind of bleeds into our next conversation of what could potentially happen with Arkansas baseball, because I know with now you waking up this morning, if you're just hopping into the morning rush, Arkansas D1 baseball, Baseball America, several other polls that you'll see released, they're number one in college baseball right now, and that's something you can take a lot of pride in, but it comes with some attachments to it. It's this early on in the season, got to wait and see. But I know a lot of you diehard Arkansas baseball fans are kind of irritated because you can't go to a game, or you got to drop $191 for 2 tickets to go to the game. Now, you're just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen. I know there's some restrictions lifted on restaurants a little bit. Whenever you talk about rules and guidelines, and I don't have the clip, I wish I did, you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when Keira Knightley's character, Elizabeth Swann, she's talking to Barbosa, Captain Barbosa, and she's talking about the code. It's like, they're not really rules. They're just like guidelines or whatever. And that's like the reference and the words that I feel like is being used and tossed around with what's being changed as of this moment.
You're hoping as the vaccine is more widely distributed, more Arkansans get the vaccine, that we see this curve continue to trend downward. And that gives you the confidence of your 100-euro check to maybe expand seating with the electronic ticketing. It's more easy to do because you haven't mailed out all the season tickets. Now you go back and have more printed, and on and on. So you can see that there's some questions that they're going to have just from an operations and logistics standpoint. I know this. I just tried to go out and eat on Friday night, and restaurants were not ready for the onslaught of people that went out to eat this weekend. They didn't have enough waiters, probably didn't have enough kitchen help, maybe didn't have enough groceries in the back. I don't know. But the governor announcing that and basically implementing that immediately puts some just local restaurants in a jam because, hey, and if people were willing to wait a little longer, that's what it took, because this weekend it was a lot more like normal if you went out to eat anywhere. Well, you want to be able to have enough ushers, have enough parking lot people, have enough concession stand workers. The list goes on and on and on of the things you need to put on a game day event. And I imagine they're starting to answer some of those questions in meetings with Hunter Yurchek and his staff.
And for Arkansas baseball, you're at 4,400 right now. All I know is we get the numbers confused between Baum-Walker Stadium and Bud Walton Arena.
One's 4,000, one's 4,400.
It's close. And
boy, it sure looked like a lot more than that. We're at the basketball game Saturday, just the pictures, just on TV.
I was in Baum-Walker Stadium. I was also in Bud Walton Arena this Saturday. I sat on the Hog Pen in Baum-Walker Stadium. Big shout out to my buddy Hunter Gross for allowing me to sit there because they've boxed off. It's weird. Oh, by the way, now we didn't do. I was not the one that caused this, but as soon as we sat down, and I don't know if we just looked the part, but the landmark I almost said land shark people. The landmark people came up to us. Said,
those are the security people.
Yeah, the security people, and said, guys, we had a problem yesterday. If anyone in your group drops the F-bomb, they're out of here.
Oh.
Like, no warning, no nothing. You're just gone.
Well,
and so
I guess someone, probably one of those guys that listen to the show, and they know that you have to fight the urge for profanity.
I typically don't say that word during baseball games. I do
You don't
say other
scream
words.
it in public?
Listen, I get that there's like there's a family, there's a dad and his 2 sons in front of
Right.
so I get like you don't want to say certain words around kids, but it was so funny because I'm not kidding. As we're putting our chairs down in the box, the guy comes over us and said, "Listen, Sonnies,
you got profiled.
yeah,
huh?
I guess we got profile. It's like one of those things. I was like, all right, whatever.
Profanity profile.
We shied away from that word. There were other words that said, but Arkansas got off to a slow start on Friday, and then they cranked it up a little bit. But it was fun to see. But it was an enjoyable experience, and I'm hoping that more people get to see it this upcoming season.
Yeah, I think being an outdoor venue versus indoors, like Bud Walton, obviously, that's probably going to work out. I don't know that we'll get back to full capacity, 100%. I don't know what's the difference in the way they have it now, which is just over, right at a third, I think is where he's got it right now, he being Hunter Yurchek, versus, the actual separation of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You got more space. How many people can you put on a row? Is it every other row? I mean, those are the things that you got to figure out what you're going to do as you step up that percentage. I don't know if you'll get to 100% this year, but maybe you do, because this season, you got to remember, plays into June perhaps with postseason. So I'll be interested to see.
I know a lot of people know what Baumwalker can provide to an atmosphere to recharging the team.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool to see more people there.
Hey, do you have a CPAP? You tired of dealing with it every night? The folks over at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with that. Dr. Bo Sparkman can help you get rid of that CPAP, all the noise, the cleaning of the filters and the hoses and all the stuff, and then just your wife telling you she's tired of all the noise. He will build you a custom dental appliance that replaces your CPAP, so it's easier to travel with, no noise, and you get a better night's sleep as well. He's got years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients and dozens of Morning Rush listeners with this custom dental appliance. 479-785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
We'll wrap up today's show coming up next. Tell you what's going in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
So, you upgraded to the elevated ride of the 2021 Toyota Highlander.
New Highlander, Mr. D?
Yeah, figured it was time for something nicer, more refined.
Look at this thing. I mean, that moonroof is pretty sweet.
It's extremely stylish.
Now, that's not all. As you can see, it has leather seats, dual-zone climate control.
And comes with all the latest tech.
And Android Auto. Check out this 12.3-inch touchscreen. Great for navigation, hands-free communication, music.
Awesome.
The Highlander also has loads of space and even a third-row seat.
Did I see 5 USB ports?
You sure did, buddy.
Perfect place for your daughter's new boyfriend.
This is so embarrassing.
Elevate every ride in the new 2021 Highlander.
Get $1,500 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $279 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and 3/1/21.
RV show pricing is arriving early at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV wants to invite you to skip the lines and the crowds this year and shop the industry's best brands at Northwest Arkansas's premier RV dealer, and with a lifetime warranty, RV storage, and a mobile service shuttle. Owning a new RV has never been easier. RV show pricing beginning now at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
picture a can of paint. Now picture a professional painter. Now picture a can of paint from the paint store in Van Buren, perfectly applied by a professional or possibly you. Painting your house could be a pain, and people who think painting as a pain prefer professional paint and pointers from the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store has the best Richards paint and expertly picked colors specifically for you. Need a professional product or a professional? It's the paint store in Van Buren.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Burrow Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Shop Metters Lumber True Value for lawn care essentials. Right now, buy a 1.33 gallon of Ortho ready-to-use ground clear or Roundup Max Control 365 vegetation killer for only $29.99 after a $4 instant rebate for the True Value Rewards members. Both kill and prevent weeds for up to 1 year. Each no-mix formula has a comfort wand for effortless application. Pick up this timely bargain of the month while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value. Certain exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
Can you clean up my yard?
You betcha. That's what the grounds guys are here for. Grounds guys will clean up any of that lingering winter debris like leaves and branches, prep your lawn for spring, and give your flower beds a fresh new look. The grounds guys is your one-stop shop for all your lawn care needs in Northwest Arkansas and the Fort Smith area. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-GUYS. Or visit groundsguys.com. The Grounds Guys. Leave the yard work to us.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
A fish sandwich from Buffalo Wild Wings? Yep, and you better believe it's beer battered. What else would you expect? It's made with wild-caught Icelandic haddock, topped with the tastiest of tartar, and served with a side of slaw. It's not easy earning a spot at the bar, but if it's coated in beer batter, then pull up a stool fish sandwich, because that's about as bar-worthy as it gets. The fish sandwich won't be around long, so order one today from Buffalo Wild Wings. Available at participating locations for a limited time, dine-in, and takeout only.
I love their hot fish sandwich.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
1-0 pitch. Swung on, belted. High, deep right field, long run. Austin Todd over his head and out of here! Into the bullpen, a 3-run line drive home run by Brady Slavens.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. We'll tell you what's going in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast coming up. Get to your calls and texts. If you want to conclude the show with a thought, a take, it's a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV.
5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Never been easier to buy a new RV. You get RV show pricing right now, and you don't have to go to a show. You don't have to stand in line. You don't have to worry about wandering around acres of convention centers, space, looking at, thousands of models and being confused. You go right to Wheels, and they got all the top brands like Grand Design, Forest River, the solar-powered Vibe, the Alliance RV fifth wheels, KZ, Sportsman. You're going to find them there. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, and they have a mobile service shuttle, so they make it easy right now at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72, again off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore,
and discover with Wheels RV.
So we've talked about the Arkansas win over LSU this morning. 9 straight SEC wins for Eric Mossman's basketball team, the most since 94 season when you won 11 straight to conclude. 2 big wins, or two big games this week, not because of the opponent, but because the significance of what it means if you get these 2 wins. Now, Tommy, we just looked up the net rankings of Texas A&M and South Carolina.
Way to scroll a little ways.
They're a doozy a little bit.
Yeah, 112 for South Carolina, 141, I believe it was, for A&M. So Arkansas's at 19, by the way. They didn't move any in the net rankings with a win over LSU. So 19, in fact, when you look at it, I'm looking 20 from 22 in all the way to 16 did not change. So there wasn't a lot of movement. And these were through yesterday. So games through February 28th. Gonzaga, Michigan, Baylor, Houston, your top 4. One thing, if you're just scrolling through them, that'll maybe raise an eyebrow. Say, wait a minute. Colgate at number 9 in the net rankings. So, again, this is not like –
Where's Colgate?
They're in the Patriot League. This is not like the College Football Committee playoff rankings. These aren't absolute. These are just some guidance. But net rankings are, again – a metric you should pay attention to. They're not an absolute.
Yeah.
What I wish they would do, Ty, is update and give you the basketball committee's top 16 rankings. I don't know. Did they come out with another one of those? They released one earlier in February. Yeah, February 12th. Arkansas was not in that, but I look at it and I see Oklahoma, Tennessee at 11, Oklahoma at 12. You wonder if they would still be in that top 16. Missouri at 16 certainly wouldn't be there. Texas at 15. They got beat by Tech this weekend. I don't know. That one had Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, Ohio State, 1, 2, 3, 4. Would Arkansas be in a top 16 if the committee released one of these again?
It's a good question to ask. Hopefully the selection committee members have been paying attention to what's been happening with the Hogs in the Southeastern Conference. Now, we know what's been happening with basketball. Arkansas baseball, number 1 in D1 baseball, Baseball America, going to be out in other polls this morning. There's a lot of happy Omaha baseball fans that are listening to the Morning Rush right now that we had a guy text in, Jesse in Mount Home. He spent $191 on 2 tickets for Murray State.
Good. He's section 105. He's behind the net between the dugout and the plate, so he's got some great seats. But that tells you the value of these tickets, the desire of fans, and hopefully they'll expand that capacity a little bit where more people can enjoy in person Razorback baseball.
And you think that they might be trending in that direction based on some of?
Oh, I'd be surprised if we didn't get to like half capacity really soon.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine those meetings are already being had about some kind of expansion based on the governor's change last Friday.
It is also National Pig Day here across the United States. Do you have a bacon sandwich or?
Well, I had pork chop. I did not know this was today, but we had bone-in pork chops last night for dinner. Smoked them and then finished them up. Smoked them for about an hour and a half. Got them to about 142 degrees in the center on the smoker, and then finished them off in a cast iron skillet with some minced garlic and some rub and some other things. They were delicious.
Good. There is a conversation I want to get to coming up. Buddy got engaged this Saturday, and we've already started thinking about game planning where we want to do his bachelor party. And that's the question I want to ask coming up. Where's the best bachelor/bachelorette party spot for the men and the ladies of the Morning Rush? Where's your favorite place? Where'd you go? What you do? You can hop in here. But I do want to ask Jenkins. Jenkins, you're in Branson this weekend. I know this is going to be more of a topic on halftime, but I'll put some crumbs out there, some nibbles. Did you have a good time this weekend?
Had a big old time in Branson. Just ate good. Did a lot of shopping for Lady Smackdowns. We had a big old time.
I saw you tweeted out the crab legs. Y'all went and ate.
She got her big old bucket of crab legs, and I did the East Coast platter at Joe's Crab Shack and had some stuffed crab cakes, bacon wrapped shrimp. Good stuff. But she wore my big rear end out Saturday running around the Tanger Outlet Mall and the Branson Landing, and
you got a taste of what marriage is like.
Marriage is like, yeah. By 5 o'clock p.m., I was ready to kick my feet back with a Jack and Coke or something.
Mm-hmm. You didn't get to do that, did you?
No, I waited till 6 o'clock to do that.
There you go.
So, but no, had a great time. It was fun to get away for first time I've personally been on vacation since the pandemic and back in October.
Is that a vacation?
For me, it was.
Or is that a trip?
Oh, well,
we have this debate around our house. Is this a vacation or a trip? Or maybe it's an excursion. Could be a getaway.
Considering it's been so long since I've gotten away, I'll treat that as a vacation.
How many minimum days and overnight stays must it be to be a vacation?
I know you can afford these lavish 10-day, 15-day trips, but some of us can only afford weekends.
Right.
So,
but how many nights must it be? And it was 16 days, not 15. So just at least get the facts right.
I consider any weekends.
But that's because the private jet had a problem and we couldn't get back. They had to get some. It was like the propeller in Major League. They had to get some more duct tape. So,
I consider any time you go out of town for a weekend outside of the state a trip or vacation. That's how I consider it. You're different. Now,
cross a major body of water, maybe.
Just a body of water.
Sometimes the rules get suspended when you cross a major body of water. That has been mentioned before in my circles.
Okay.
Well, we have crossed a major body of water.
Table Rock Lake
and some people think the Arkansas River might be a major body of water.
Does Table Rock count?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
That counts. Well, speaking of body of waters, the question that was posed a little earlier this morning, but he got engaged over the weekend, and he's done with the boring engagement party stuff, marriage stuff.
So how did that go? Did he plan that right?
He killed it.
He obviously got the yes. That's the only thing that really matters.
He killed it, apparently. Talked to
Were you there?
I was not there for the actual proposing.
Yes or no?
And the emotional conversation.
George Strait, check yes or no.
No. But I was.
He probably doesn't know.
I was told by the fiance. Check. All right, please. Yes, I know that song. He said that she really enjoyed it. It was thoughtful. It was good for him. Congratulations on that part. But now the fun begins, right? Like he's done with all that stuff.
No. No fun begins now because now you have to plan a wedding. There's no fun in planning a wedding.
There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Is that how it goes?
Yeah,
Is that how it goes?
I've heard that one.
Well, before the suffering begins, he has an opportunity, as all males and females do before they tie the knot, to get to go on a little trip. Now, I have one coming up in New Orleans this summer, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully, COVID's a distant memory by then. I have to wait and see. Who knows at that point?
So if it's not or you're not going?
Moving on.
Bingo!
If COVID's still an issue, you're going to just bow out of the trip?
You're putting him on the spot. I plead the fifth.
So just say no. No,
question.
The answer is no. I'm still going regardless.
I don't know. I just want to make sure it's whatever. Plead the fifth. Let's move on from that. You're asking tough questions at the end.
I would too.
I'd just go. I'd say no.
Mask up and go.
Yeah,
so New Orleans going for his.
There's other things that will kill you in New Orleans.
Yeah, that is true. Like first thing, it's like so when we walked out of resort in Cabo, we're getting Coca. It's like, no, we don't want Coke. And then same thing in New Orleans, walking around just Coca. And it's like, no, we don't want Coke.
Coke Zero. I need Diet Coke.
Yeah. Just like turn around, just pull out a Diet Coke out of your pocket. It's like, no, sorry, man.
I'm
we
good,
got
man.
It here.
I'm good
we're
right
good
here.
right here. So, but it's got tossed around. NCAA tournament, March Madness next March.
Mm-hmm.
First and second rounds, which is the weekend.
So it's a year from now is when you're doing the bachelor party?
It's potential, and nothing's nailed down. They're 2 days coming off an engagement, but potential.
They didn't pick the date yet.
Yeah, potential of an April wedding. That's just like a ballpark-ish.
All right.
And so March, I think March is kind of what we're looking at.
You got to think south.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, March is still cool enough. Weather's too big a factor to be thinking local or anything other than south. So, I mean, Vegas is fine. New Orleans is fine. Those are a little cliche, but hey, they're cliche for a reason, right? Because they're awesome places to go for guys' weekend.
So what is a non-cliche place that you could think of that would be fun and yet maybe a place that none of us had ever been?
All right, how many
before?
days you got here? Just a weekend, or you got 4 or 5 days here?
Well, I only get like 2 days of vacation a year here,
please.
So I'm.
Please.
I have to
he's going to lose all his vacation when he decides on this New Orleans trip.
Right.
Yeah. So this is next year. So, where?
Yeah, because you've always had trouble getting time off.
Where should we?
Well, I mean, you got a lot of other people to consider. If it was me, and again, I think you can go because when you start thinking about Vegas isn't cheap anymore, guys. I don't know if you've been there. I've only been once, and probably I've said it is New York, Chicago expensive.
Okay.
Cancun.
Cancun.
Cancun, you can go cheaper than Vegas.
But for a weekend, though?
Yeah. Go Thursday, come home Sunday, do the all-inclusive thing, stay up in the hotel zone, go to all the nightclubs. You'll love it. An all-you-can-drink buffet, that is you and your buddies' dreams.
Yeah.
All-inclusives, hotel zone, Cancun. That's the ticket.
That sounds, and honestly, good, because the last all-inclusive I went to, the food was terrible. And
you're not there for the food.
I'm not picky at all, but
good point.
I do want good food to be down
there. But
there.
if you stay up there in the hotel zone, you're right near all the nightclubs and all the other entertainment that you could walk to.
Mango.
Or get a shuttle to.
Okay. Jenkins, what would your be? I got a text in here. Breezy from Rogers texting. He says he's going to Vegas in April for a bachelor party. So another Vegas
has turned into a shopping mall and eateries.
I don't.
That's all it is.
The only time I want to go to Vegas is for the Super Bowl and the NCAA tournament.
I'm with you on that.
That's about it. What about you?
I think there's Nick and Greenwood's in Nashville. Nashville will be up there for me personally. Like if it was mine, they're just bar hop and go run around down Nashville and listen to music.
Nashville's good.
We're planning one. I've got to be careful with what I say because he might accidentally be listening, but we're planning one the first weekend of spring break for me and two other buddies, and we're going to keep it low key and I think we're going to go to Cardinal Country.
Here's not a bad one.
St. Louis.
2022, maybe the Waste Management Open. Who texted that in? That's Craig in Greenwood. He said Tempe or Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
That would be a fun weekend to go down there for the Waste Management
You get
Open.
trashed there.
More. It's a great dad joke.
Good one right there.
Great dad joke to end the show. For Matt Jenkins, Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. Really good Monday show. 9 straight SEC wins for this Arkansas basketball team.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK.